Podcast Jaded. This is Keith.
This is David.
And we found a burly mountain man hiding around the corner of indescript streets of downtown Long Beach.
My goodness, that beard is immaculate.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very immaculate.
Do you have like a conditioning method for it? Is it just naturally that rugged?
I didn't want to. Like originally, I just like grew a beard because I was lazy, and then after a while, I was like, "Fuck, I gotta take care of that." Can I cuss on this show?
You can.
Sure, cool.
No.
By the way, Chris, this is a Christian broadcast, so I mean, it's all right. But this is Chris, the most Christian man I know.
Right.
Yeah. Going from burly mountain man.
Dude, you know how legit that is? My last name is Chin.
Chin?
Not even joking. My name legitimately is Chris Chin.
Do you know an Elliot Chin?
No.
6'8", not Chinese, fucking Chin?
No.
Okay.
No.
They're from a Tuscadero. Up north, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, that's the only other Chin that I know that's not a Chinese person.
Dude, I'm Chinese.
Chinese?
Yeah.
Okay, so then definitely not related to those Chins because those guys aren't Chinese.
Yeah, I'm legit like third generation Chinese American.
What?
And I look like someone stole none of my Lucky Charms. Yeah.
Damn.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
More
I'll show you how racist I am. I thought his last name was Lee after he legitimately told me that his last name was Chin. That's a real conversation we had. He's like, no, it's Chin. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I immediately I was like, yeah, no, it's probably related to the other white Chins I know.
Yeah, no, man. Like my grandfather is like 100% looks like an old Chinese dude, like 94 years old, like 5'2", weighs like 90 pounds, like tiny little dude.
That's pretty good for 5'2", 90 pounds.
Yeah, dude, he's killing it, dude.
He's killing it.
Actually, what's the date today? 27?
Like, it's 26.
Yeah, dude, his birthday's in like 3 days. He'll be 94.
Nice.
He's still kicking?
Yeah, dude.
God damn.
Well, shout out to Chris's
what's up, Pop?
grandfather.
I'm sure he'll listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
We'll give you the link. He'll be on there.
Happy early birthday, my man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're killing it, dude. You're killing it.
Yeah.
Fucking 90 pounds, 5'2".
Dude, it's crazy.
What's the other freckled half of you? What is that?
My grandmother on my dad's side is like Scottish and Irish, and then my mom's whole side of the family is Scottish and Irish. So
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Not once.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, we're doomed. We're doomed to the genetics. Yeah, nobody ever believes me when I say I'm Chinese.
I believe you. I fully believe you.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
I'm not Chinese at all.
Yeah, dude.
He showed me a picture of his grandpa, and he's like, "I'm like, did you just show me a random picture of some Asian man?
Old Chinese dude.
Did you just Google this? You're like, see, this is my grandfather.
You scroll a little bit down so you don't see the search bar.
Right. It's crazy. But it's weird, man. It's weird growing up in like a household where I look like this, but like we have like a lot of like very Asian like values in the family. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's real weird.
Did you grow up with like the fucking 10 plus people in a 3-bedroom apartment?
No, not those kind of values.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's
like
like
normal white suburban values as far as that goes. Like I had my own room, my brother had his own room, kind of stuff. Yeah. We were balling out of control. What kind of stuff?
Killing it back then, killing it now.
Right.
Damn.
It's suburban lifestyle.
Another fun fact about Chris: he's a accomplished stand-up comedian.
Accomplished. Like I accomplished it like 4 times.
Dude, 4 times.
Like no, I've been on stage a handful of times.
I watched some of his videos. It's some good stuff. It's pretty. I giggled. I chuckled to myself.
Dude, and I like. Sorry, I legit said I wasn't gonna knock into the mic. The last show I did was like a few months back, like right here in this neighborhood, actually. So,
really, where at?
Like off of Bispo, there's this old church that like has been converted to like just an event space, and like I have a buddy who does like a pop up open mic there, like not open mic, but like a pop up show. It's like a variety show. So yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it was cool. That recording I gave you was from there.
All right, right. I didn't even. I mean.
You couldn't tell that it was in the neighborhood by looking inside the building?
Yeah, right. That's cool that they did that, though.
Yeah, it's a really cool space. And I think they rent it out for a bunch of different stuff. But it was legit because, like, when you're on stage, you're just talking to people on stage, and then when you're waiting, like, the green room is like upstairs in the back where like the moms would breastfeed babies during church service.
Right.
So you're just chilling up there, looking down, not only on the crowd but on the stage. It was pretty legit.
Sick.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's cool, man.
But the rest of the time is just me, like, going to open mics, throughout the greater Los Angeles area, trying to get one person to laugh at one joke,
That's all it is. That's all it takes.
It's
Yeah.
fucking terrible, dude.
I would hate to hear like crickets.
So painful.
Yeah.
So painful. And like the best laughs you get are when you're like, dude, I suck at this. When you like acknowledge it on stage, you're like, I suck at this. Everyone's like,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. But,
What goes through your head when like you know you're bombing really hard and people are just kind of like staring at you and you're staring back at them for a hot minute and they're like,
it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy how much goes through your head when you're trying to like make it happen. And like I don't even know what it's like to kill, you know, like, so it's just me going up there and sucking on stage. But like there's a panic, but there's also like a comfort,
right,
almost in like knowing like, yep, this is about what I expected, you know.
Right.
And then you're like, oh fuck, what was I going to talk about next? And that always is like, that's like the nagging, like always under the surface, you know,
right,
shark that you're trying to
it's kind of like trying to stay focused.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna forget that, or that line was really funny when I wrote it and when I said it 100 times, but now that I'm on stage, like I'm gonna mix this word and that word up and it's gonna be stupid,
right,
you know,
right,
it's gonna sound like an idiot. So
that's what's great though, like you know, when you're up there, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So like when you watch really like you know, professional comedians and they're like really accomplished and they've, you know, been through the ringer as far as like, you know, bombing and playing all these weird places.
Yeah.
You see the talent in being able to deliver a joke and make it, you know, relevant for everybody.
Yeah, and
you
dissecting it too. It's like, oh man, he knew to use that word last because that was the funniest way to deliver that line, you know, and to like acknowledge that on stage, like in front of, you know, thousands of people in a theater, it's just like, fuck, this guy's like really put in his dude.
Right.
Man. So.
I mean, most of the comedians that we know and love now, they weren't just like, oh man, they just became popular last year. Like they've been working on it for at least a decade.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
you don't see the stuff behind that. You know what I mean?
They're all talking about like listening to all these other podcasts, which mainly the ones I listen to are comedians. Like, you guys have been like doing comedy for how long? The 90s? Like, early 2000s?
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy, right?
Just popping up. It's not like they were there, but like they're still fresh. They're still happening. I was like,
right. One person like that it freaks me out to watch, like his old stuff, is Louis C.K. just because he is completely unrecognizable to today. Really? Like his really old stuff, you see him, he has like all his hair, he's super redhead, he's skinnier, but his face, like he just looks different. He looks completely different, and but he's still even his comedy is different, of course, too. But
so he just completely changed styles.
You can't. Yeah, his style is different, but also like I said, physically.
Well, that's age.
I'm like, this is not Louis C.K. What are you talking about? And then my friend was like, no, this is his old shit.
But that's legit with a lot of comedians. Like Richard Pryor, when he first started, was a nobody. Like because he was trying to be clean. He did the Cosby thing, not the Cosby thing, but the other Cosby thing. Tried to be like clean and whatnot, and like nobody knew who he was, and he got very little play. I mean, he got known, but he didn't become Richard Pryor until he like threw that shit out the window.
Right.
It's like,
yeah, sometimes you gotta start from scratch.
Crazy, man. Like in startups, they talk about pivoting, right? Like, oh, this isn't working the way we planned it. We got to pivot. We got to go this other way.
All right.
Good. Instead of just beating your head against the same wall, like, oh, maybe it's gonna stick now.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard too because like when you first start, they say like just keep trying the same stuff. Don't throw out your material. It's like, dude, this joke is terrible. Like I realized that 2 weeks after writing it. Like I'm not gonna go on stage for the next 6 months and keep throwing it up there, you know. Like,
can you give me the most terrible joke you have?
Let's get something. What's going on?
You could fuck it up because it's like it's a very terrible joke, anyways, right?
Yeah.
What was the most terrible joke?
Don't overthink it.
Turns out funny. If it makes me laugh, you can keep it.
Man, you know what? Honestly, dude, I can't even.
I know it sucks to tell me any joke. Like you tell a comedian, like, hey, tell me a joke.
Well, I'm working on this bit right now where like I was asking about like if trees have feelings, you know, like do you think trees have feelings? Like when another tree gets cut down, is it sad? Or is it like it's his brother, you know, and he's like, oh, I'm so sad, my brother? Or is he like, fuck you, Brian, you know, stealing all the good sunlight for 250 years? I'm glad you got cut down. I hope they turn you into a box of toothpicks or a fucking IKEA table so you can die a second time. You know?
Tree beef.
That's right. And it's like, man, that's pretty heavy. It's like, well, dude, 250 years is a long time to be stealing somebody's sunshine.
That's so funny.
Centuries of grudges.
Yeah.
So, I've thought that. I've thought about that myself. So it's a good fucking.
I like that. It's a lot of introspection. Like, that can happen.
Yeah, right.
If someone's blocking my sunlight for like 250 years, like, fuck you, dude.
Right.
Not like a slow one, just like a burning hatred over.
Yeah, Brian, it's time for me to shine now, bitch.
Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh no! I now remember the worst joke that I wrote was I'm a musician and I'm heavily influenced by Jimi Hendrix, but I'm not a guitar player, so I'm just the guy that walks around at the party reminding everybody to sleep on their stomach. So they don't, you know,
you're like the alternate version of Jimi Hendrix that actually survived past 27.
Right.
Totally.
You know what saved my life, guys? It wasn't me quitting drugs. It was just like sleeping on my belly.
I legit spent like a handful of parties in college being that dude, just hammered, walking around, being like, dude, sleep on your stomach. It's so bad.
Oh my god,
that's a good one. I like that one. Shit. I'm sorry. That's
cool.
not terrible. That's not
all
terrible.
right.
We laughed.
Well, I'll just keep working.
You're actually a funny dude.
Thanks,
sorry.
dude.
Fuck. God damn it.
It's cool.
Can we get worse comedians on? Like, this guy's too funny.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of fucking up the vibe right now.
I'm
dude.
sorry.
Yeah. We're trying to, like, you're denigrating yourself. But your comedy is like shit.
Yeah,
right.
this show is very formatted, so you know.
I know, right? It seems real rigid.
We got the cords and shit. Keith, we forgot to wear our shirts.
Huh?
We forgot to wear our shirts.
We're kind of wearing like gamer shirts. It's cool.
That doesn't count. They can't.
You guys
see.
legit have shirts.
We-
for the podcast?
Yeah, we went to Target yesterday,
yeah.
and we're just like we're holding hands like we normally do.
Yeah.
Any kind of like major retail store.
It's a safety thing.
Yeah, we don't want to get lost, you know.
Yeah.
So one of our guests was Gary. He was buying a shirt because he wanted to look fresh. I'm like, you know what? We want to look fresh today too.
Right.
So we released each other's grasp of hands, and we were looking around. And then he found like, Keith, this shirt's awesome. And I was like, David, they got one in my size too. And you're like, this is
child
dope.
small.
Yeah, child small, women's medium for him. And so we just bought the same shirts. And we're like, yeah, this is gonna be so stupid. And
What do they look like?
They look like it's just like
heavenly. They're striped, like red and blue and white, and they look like something that like a nerd from like an 80s sitcom would wear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Think
Urkel.
pocket.
We'll think Urkel on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like more loose fitting, and we didn't have any suspenders around it or anything. But yeah.
Yet.
So,
Do you know how dated that Urkel comment is? Like that reference?
Why?
Like, dude, there's so many people that we deal with on a daily basis that don't know who the fuck.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Yesterday I made a comment about Blockbuster. I was like, there's like at least maybe fucking a lot of people that are like, what are you talking about? VHS, DVD rentals?
Yeah, it's real. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. Like, I used to teach high school, and like I would make references to things, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm 100 years old.
Yeah,
like, I'm like in my
early
20s, and I'm like, oh, I'm so old.
Yeah. I don't have that reaction. I just think people are stupid. I'm like, no, you're dumb. How do you not know that? And then maybe that's not good on my part as far as like, you know, growing old gracefully. Because then I'm just going to be that old angry dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't know who this is?
Man.
Oh, yeah. No, you're stuck in a loop. You're like, oh, my God. Like I need to go back to 1996.
It's spirograph! Stupid!
Dude, sometimes you got to get raw to get your point across.
Do you guys remember that little robot that you could put a tape in and he would, like, talk to you, kind of? And he, like, it was, you know, fuck.
You don't know what it's called?
It has 3 letters. Something R.
Damn, it's a lot of letters to guess.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. It's going nowhere.
Yeah. You remember the talk boy from Home Alone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Always wanted one, never could get one.
That shit didn't work like that.
There's no...
I always wanted to fool invaders.
No.
Home invaders.
Right.
So I actually had the pop-up clown balloon fucking punching bag thing.
Yeah.
The one that was like in the shower, like, yeah.
Right.
As a kid, I was like, man, I'm going to build my own like Home Alone fucking home security setup. And this is like me at 4 years old. So I'm just like scattering shit everywhere. I'm getting yelled at. I'm like, yeah, pick up your shit. Like, I'm just trying to save the house in case like a short dude and a tall dude repeatedly try to come in here.
Yeah, shout out to Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. In case I can't burn their hands.
Pretty much burn their hands, hit them with a bowling ball. And it's like, I keep hitting the clown thing. It's like playing really creepy and backwards stuff.
Dude, that movie holds up.
It does.
That movie holds up.
I think of that movie and I was like, they are the worst parents. First of all, they had so many kids.
Yeah.
Second of all, they lost that kid twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Not only did they like
3 times if you watch the shitty one.
Oh no, that didn't exist.
That one was terrible.
Apparently, Tom Green was.
I watched it though.
Wow.
Tom Green was in Home Alone.
Tom Green was in. I think he was in Home Alone 4. That's how bad they kept.
They made a 4th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I worked at a Blockbuster, so I know that I didn't watch them, but I saw that they were on
I'm sorry.
the show.
What's a Blockbuster?
Oh, yeah. I wish I could explain. There was a time where people used to pay for stuff to watch things.
Dude, I spent a lot of time at Blockbuster.
It used to be like an American Friday ritual.
Hell yeah.
Because like you have a Blockbuster, and then you'll have like a Little Caesars, some shitty fucking food place around
or
there.
pay
like,
for some
almost
like overpriced
always.
popcorn that they sell.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Almost always Little Caesars. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's Little Caesars. Like for you spend $15 for movies, $5 for a pizza. Everybody goes home.
$5 for 2 pizzas at Little Caesars. Remember pizza, man? Like you buy one pizza, you get one.
Wait, that's
free.
why he said that?
Yeah,
That's why he would
I
say that
completely
because you
forgot.
get
Cheese
two.
pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
little
Back
fucking-
in the 80s, they started like they went from this thing from just like when you order a pizza, they started doing like buy one get one free.
Oh, the delivery girl. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Nikki.
much. Oh man, what did you bring for us?
Executive producer Nikki.
Executive producer.
Executive producer.
Yeah, I know.
She's like the Aaron Spelling of
Excited.
the show.
This episode is brought to you by.
Are we gonna eat right now?
Halal
Are we gonna eat on air?
If
We're
you
not
want
doing
to.
that, are we?
If you want to.
Probably shouldn't. That's weird.
It's happening right
Are
now.
we chewing and shit? This is really loud.
I think this is your sandwich.
All right.
Here's your straw.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I've already agreed, since Nikki has provided the space every 10 podcasts that I do, I will get her a podcast gift. So I found out
Is this the
everybody out there, she's a size 7 in women, so if somebody could help me out, because I don't know if I can.
Yeah, she needs some Jimmy Choo's
Jimmy
real
Choo's,
bad.
Jimmy Choo's shoes. First of all, don't know
Jimmy
if those are
Choo
shoes.
Oh, these have olives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I'm gonna
Podcast olives. Hell yeah.
Podcast
olives.
olives.
Okay.
Shout out to Halal guys.
Yeah, sponsored. For
Oh,
sure.
I wish.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. Slavery was never mind.
No. We gotta shred those. We gotta shred those.
No, you can't, man.
You can't? They break shredders? Is that what happens?
No, he's a character in this actual podcast now.
I will get. How about this?
I've made it official.
3 podcasts from now, he will have his own tripod.
Okay.
5 podcasts.
He's just standing in the
Yeah.
background over here.
5 podcasts from now, he will have a microphone hooked up to a talk boy from Home Alone 2 that will have actual recordings of Kanye saying stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't talk to people. Don't
talk-
talk to me. Don't talk to anybody. If you have friends to talk, tell them never talk to anybody ever.
Tell him stop talking now.
Don't talk to anybody.
But I would have
ever.
to do. I'd do it in like 5-second intervals for like fair use. So I might have to cut him off in the middle of a rant. So like, slavery was a blank, and then it'd just be like that.
All right.
But we'll do it like every other 10 seconds.
Did you understand all the fair use laws and stuff that you need?
No, that's just like a rule of thumb almost. I mean,
Okay.
like seriously, like
5
if they-
seconds, they can't get you.
It's like if they feel like it's an infringement, like if you're like really banking on that 5 seconds to get your thing across, then I'm pretty sure that's no longer original content.
Right.
Unless you're actually critiquing it or going in depth about like,
Analyze.
yeah.
it.
Also, if you're like a YouTube channel or whatever's like, hey, let's listen to 5 seconds of songs that you like, and then it just gets you views. I'm pretty sure like whoever you just sampled, like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that people can just put together other people's videos and
Oh, yeah.
pretty much have a YouTube channel, and they have
Dude.
hundreds of thousands of subscribers
Yeah.
and millions of views. And I'm like, how?
Dude, they're
Why?
capitalizing on laziness. That's
Yeah.
like the American dream.
Like,
dude.
seriously.
Like, I want money for you being lazy. That's it.
Like,
Right.
you remember they had those like kids would watch YouTube like randomly. Like, imagine like they're human bots pretty much because they just fucking type in whatever. So you hit in a couple keywords. So like a couple of the most famous keywords were like Elsa from Frozen and like Spider-Man.
Right.
And they had some
Those
like,
are good
Heard
ones.
About that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about that one. Okay, this is that
Those
one.
are buzzwords for sure.
But yeah, there was the really creepy ones that were like fucking scat and bondage and piss and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I was like, why are kids watching this? What? There's millions of views on these videos, and they're still not taken down. There's some other ones where it's just like really shitty CG, like different colored Spider-Man, like a red one, a black one, a pink one, a green one.
What?
Yeah, and they're just doing like, okay, so this song called Five Little Monkeys. I don't know if you guys know what that is. We have kids, nephews, nieces. Okay.
I do, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, they listen to a song called Five Little Monkeys. It's like a universal song of just like counting, whatever, right? And they just have Spider-Man jumping up on a bed, up and down. CG Spider-Man, really shitty, like PlayStation graphics Spider-Man jumping up and down in bed.
Fucking
Millions
ridiculous.
of views. Millions of views.
Wow.
Millions. And it's a Marvel character. It's
Right.
And then they'll have like a Hulk. They'll have like different color, like palette swap Hulk come in. I was like, yeah, millions of views.
Disney's not all over that.
No. Probably now because I think that was before the merger. But it was
Okay.
just like you could just like whatever you want. A really shitty CG. It looks like really even worse than like an action figure.
Right.
It's like jumping up and down
Damn.
on a bed. Five Little Monkeys jumping on a bed, and I'm like, millions of views.
Right.
Because kids are just going to watch it. Like, parents are going to watch their kids watch YouTube like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, I like that song. I like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah.
I mean, I gotta be real. Like, I love following like the Instagram accounts of, like kids getting hurt. Just show. There's this Instagram account called Kids Getting Hurt.
Like severely injured?
Yeah.
No, like most of the time it's just like some kid like hanging out in his house and like a brother will throw a ball from the other room and it'll hit like a 4-year-old in the head. And
okay.
You know what I mean? And
So
something like that. And you're just
like,
like, oh
something
shit,
silly.
I didn't see that coming, but that looked terrible.
Right.
You know?
It's like America's Funniest Home Videos. It's alright. It's an American pastime.
Yeah,
Like,
totally is.
Yeah,
totally is.
that sounded like it was getting dark, but it just sounds
But
like.
I would legitimately sit like
We're
like,
going down a dark alley for a second there.
Oh man, it's getting rough.
But I will legitimately sit and watch that, you know, like their Insta stories for like 20 minutes at a time just to watch kids like bail on their skateboards or, you know, get fucking run over by the tricycle that their older brother's riding or something like that. That's just like, why is that entertaining to me?
Wow,
You know,
it's like mindless. Yeah, it's alright though. I mean, it's cool to just veg out the stuff. People do it. Like some people have TV running in the background. I mean, people have been doing it even before the internet.
Right.
It's kind of like that white noise, and like even though you're not really listening, you're like, I should go to Domino's later
Right.
for some pizza. Like I don't know why, or I should use Larry H. Parker as my lawyer. Don't know why.
There was a stretch of time where, like, if I knew if I was going to get in trouble, that was my
That's
only
the
go.
number you
That
would
was my
call.
only play. Like, I had no other way of understanding how the law worked except by calling Larry H. Parker.
Yeah, dude. If you know that number, any situation, you'd be good.
I'm a Jacoby and Myers guy myself.
Oh, there's the other one. Yeah.
Also, I graduated Everest College, so I know what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Dude. Did you find that on TV too, Everest College?
Yeah, you're sitting on the couch, you're doing nothing with your life.
Yeah.
Why don't you call? Get up.
You know, as a kid,
You're sitting on the phone all day anyways.
Somebody.
Why was that guy so angry? Why was he so mad at you right there? You guys remember those commercials, right?
I remember the commercials for ITT Tech, and they would just like tell you degrees like radio sciences, like just made up degrees. They would throw like buzzwords together. Electrical outlet repairman. I'm like, what? Like these are things. As a kid, I'm like, dude, I want to do that.
That sounds fun.
That sounds like
Astronaut puppy.
yeah. It's like photographer for the blind. I don't know. It's like what? Like ITT Tech had like the most bullshit fucking degree paths.
Right.
And like I was like, so what are you gonna do now? It's like, I guess I've dug my hole deep into this photographer for the blind. This is all I know. Anyway,
Right.
I think both them and Everest have been shut down.
So ITT Tech, is DeVry still active?
I think they're all gone.
They're all gone?
I haven't seen any commercials for them in years.
Because the whole ordeal with them was like they were reaping the benefits from like the GI Bill. They were just like,
Oh,
so,
really?
That makes sense. Yeah.
So GI Bill would pretty much like match whatever based on where you're located, and they're like, okay, so you have all these people that are either in or out of the military, and they get free college. So these colleges are like, yeah, come to our college, we'll give you X blah 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 blah, and they'll just charge the units like ridiculous amounts.
Right.
And then you're like,
Wow.
at the end of the term, you're like, I got my degree in outlet repair, and you're like, oh, this doesn't work ananywhere, and like I did
Just repairing outlets.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, but okay, they would make it sound like so like radiology technician, right? Somebody that repair or does like scans something. They'll make it sound like radiology technician
I was like,
sciences.
hey, wait a minute. David, you said that was legit, man. I didn't know. Like,
It is legit, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lee.
But it would sound kind of like a legit degree path, but a degree path or a vocational path. But they would just kind of throw a different word in there,
Right.
And it's like, nope, that's not it. That's not it at all. I
Wow.
wasted 3 years.
instead of
Oh,
like
no.
radiology technician, you're like a radiology fabricator
Yeah,
or something like that. You're like,
oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
you know,
like fabricator or like engineering. I don't see. I'm really bad at this.
Yeah, engineer,
I probably wouldn't be
engineer.
hired for ITT Tech
Dude.
to make any of their courses.
Probably.
Or at least the titles.
It makes sense though, like the GI Bill, like guys, you know, that were trying to figure out what to do with their
Yeah,
life.
because like they're
Man,
like, oh, you know, you get free college if they do the 4 or 6 year path, and they're like kick rocks. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to college. You know what? Go back to my hometown. They got an ITT Tech around the corner.
Dude.
I'm gonna be somebody.
That's
so
just,
glad I didn't
which
fall
is
for
even
that
more
shit.
terrible for like all those kids that like took actual loans out. You know,
Yeah.
for this shit.
Hell yeah.
Like that's insane that you would take advantage of a kid like that.
Yeah. So the thing was like they got pressed by the government to be like, hey,
The Art Institute of Santa Ana.
is that not a thing?
No, but I went there for a half second.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, fuck them.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Side
fair.
note.
Side blast artist to Santa Ana.
Right, just throwing a little shade your way.
Dude, there's some sick art in Santa Ana right now. I don't know if you guys have been over there lately.
You're telling me you make that drive out there.
Yeah, I'm there like a couple days a week, and there's some huge ass murals that are really nice. Like,
oh, we're getting a lot of murals over here too. You seen that?
Yeah.
Stuff?
Oh yeah, man. I haven't been in Long Beach long enough, so every time I notice a new one, I'm like, oh, that one looks badass. That must be new. And then someone will be like, man, that's been there like 6 years. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Well, where did you come from originally?
Well, I was born in the Bay Area. I lived there till I was 10. Then we moved to LA. Grew up in the Valley. Like, spent the last 15 of the last 18 years in Santa Barbara.
Right on.
So yeah, most of my adult life in the Santa Barbara area, and now I live down here. You know,
welcome. It's a little late, but welcome to Long Beach.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
Yeah,
I love it, dude. It's a cool space. Cool space. Like, I felt really bad when I first moved down here. I had a friend that I went to college with that grew up down here, and we used to bust his balls all the time because it was the late 90s. And so all we knew about Long Beach was Snoop Dogg videos.
Yeah.
And so we thought he was the most ghetto fool we ever met, you know? And then we moved down here, and I called him up, and I was like, hey, man, I live in the area now. Let's meet up. And he's like, yeah, let's go to this place. So he's like, go to the town center off Carson, you know, like the 605, you know, over there. And he's
like borderline Long Beach and Hawaiian Gardens.
Yeah. And he's like, we'll just meet up over there. He lives in Downey now. And he was like, I'll just meet you up there and we'll have a beer at the Islands or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So I meet him at like 8 o'clock at night. I've never been in this neighborhood before. I pull up, I park my car. I walk inside and I go, hey, man, is my car safe?
That's a legitimate question.
Wow.
He goes, motherfucker, you're at Islands. Like, ain't no islands in the hood. And I was like, oh, you're right. Yeah, okay, cool. So we hang out.
Pineapples in the burgers. You didn't feel safe?
I know, I should have.
Is the gauge of safety the fucking islands?
Right?
Is that what it is? Okay, great. Because you go on the other side of the freeway, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah. I've learned that for sure. Although there's a really good Peruvian restaurant over there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, Pollo Inca Express. What's up?
Hey.
Hell yeah. Over at Town Center? Fuck yeah.
So a couple days later, my wife and I are like, had some time with no kid. Like, what are we going to do? And I was like, oh, I know a movie theater. It's right by this Islands. It's in a decent neighborhood, you know? Like, let's go there. And so we get there. And it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. So my wife's a bartender as well, so we have a weird schedule. We get over there, and I open the door, and you just like 50 gunshots.
What?
And my wife was like, what the fuck?
No, they're probably coming from Hawaiian Gardens. It's okay.
No, I went inside and I was like buying tickets to the movie. I was like, hey, I just heard a ton of gunshots over there. And they go, oh yeah, the police firing range is on the other side of that wall. And I was just like, oh fuck, man. So like this roller coaster of judgment of Long Beach that I was living on, I felt super guilty. So now like I'm overly like apologetic to anybody who like, I hope you don't feel like I just judged Long Beach. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
You know, like,
so. I mean, I think that a lot of people, you know, have a lot of preconceived notions about Long Beach in general. Namely that everybody is like a gangster. I mean, that's probably a thing. I mean, not so much the LA people. It's definitely Orange County kind of getting things a little twisted. There's an amazing scene. I don't know if you guys ever watched this. But there's an amazing scene on The OC. You remember the show that was on Fox?
No.
Stop. Shut the fuck. Both of you guys shut the fuck. You
man.
guys, I see the judgment in your eyes.
Hey, no judgment. I
reject it wholeheartedly.
Remind me at the end of your story. I gotta tell you something.
Okay. Well, anyways, there's this amazing scene on the OC. It's like within the first few episodes, and the kids go to Long Beach for a party, and they get to Long Beach, and there's just low riders and girls in bikinis and in short shorts dancing on the low riders. I was like, you're not in Long Beach,
that's
bitch.
Not Long Beach.
All these cholo dudes, like black people's, peppered in there, and like I was like, this is ridiculous. This is a caricature of like what.
Yeah.
Was there like an elote guy with the fucking cart and horn?
No.
Okay,
no tamale lady, nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
No taco truck. I guess that's what's early.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. That wasn't really popular. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious because I feel like that's what they really think it is.
It's crazy, man, living outside of Long Beach. Like, all you know about Long Beach, I mean, you come to the Queen Mary for like a field trip, and Snoop Dogg videos and Sublime.
Yeah.
And so, like, automatically, if I know somebody's like, like I used to live in the 805, like Santa Barbara area, and everybody like, oh, I'm from Long Beach, like, automatically street credit through the roof.
Really?
Yeah, just from those videos in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this person could be a totally like piece of shit, but like, like street credit through the roof automatically. And What's crazy about that OC thing, though, is where I used to work up north. A couple of the regulars there were Spencer and Heidi from the OC.
Okay.
They live in Santa Barbara area
Wow.
now. And, dude, the sweetest people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sweetest people.
Isn't
That's
that
what you wanted
crazy?
to tell me.
Isn't
right
that
now?
crazy? Like they're like vilified constantly on TV. Whenever they're brought into like the limelight, like they're just totally like these are the worst people on the planet or whatever. And like, dude, honestly, this is fucking sweet.
Just because of their characters.
Yeah, they're super nice.
That's hilarious.
Super nice.
I mean, I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people that
Yeah.
play dickheads on TV. So
You kind of just get vilified the rest of their life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like that Joffrey dude from fucking Game of Thrones. Never.
Oh,
He
yeah.
can only be like evil little bastards.
Which
for
one
his
is
life.
he?
The one that the prince, the little prince that's marries Sansa for a bit.
Doesn't he like torture a guy for a while?
Tortures a guy for a while. The little blonde kid that gets like.
Oh no! Okay, I know who you're talking about.
I should preface this by saying I have not watched Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm
I've not
spoiling
really
for you.
watched it myself. I
Yeah.
probably watched a total of maybe 6 or 7 episodes, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay, it's like
Dude,
like
it's a
70
lot of
hours.
work.
Yeah, it's like at this
Oh,
point
I
it's
got-
like 80 hours. Of
Yeah.
TV you have to watch in order to catch up.
Every single episode is a Lord of the Rings movie. Like, it's crazy, dude.
That's so insane.
Yeah.
So insane. But that's one of those things, like, we live in that time now where everybody's like, oh, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this show. You gotta watch this show. And I'm just like, okay, how long will it take me to get caught up? And like you said, 80 hours? Like,
80 hours, yeah.
That's a full-time job, dude. I can't
Like
watch
you could
it.
fast forward, like once you get the tempo, you're like I watched Dexter in a week.
Okay.
All of Dexter.
That's interesting,
All
though,
of
man.
them.
That'll capture your brain. And,
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
won't
like-
let you get away from it. Yeah.
Pretty much, it's like I need to know what happens now. I
Yeah.
don't care about sleep.
Is he gonna sleep with his sister? Like,
Yeah.
you worry about that the whole
Spoiler:
time.
he does.
Yeah.
Alright? 'Cause I'm not gonna make you guys go through
Spoiler.
70 hours of Dexter just to find that out.
Just to find
That's
out
the part that-
there's some incest going on.
Yeah, when that part started going on, I was like, I need to stop watching this show now. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
But I know what you just said about, shows and then having to catch up and all that stuff, but each of you needs to watch Battlestar Galactica. I'm sorry.
You were saying this last night.
Did I say that?
You were on a rant last night
That's
on
not
the patio.
That's not the first time that I've gone through that because I've had this rant and I've talked about this show multiple times. I've seen it all the way through probably about 3 times. It's fucking amazing.
Are you talking about-
Edward
You gotta
James
watch the
Olmos,
whole
dude.
series,
Edward
right?
James Olmos
You
is
can't-
fucking
Okay, so
amazing.
You're talking
okay?
about the new Battlestar Galactica.
The new one, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Whatever.
I've never seen.
I don't know.
There's an
I don't
old
know.
one and a new
There-
one.
yeah.
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 And there's like 3 movies. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
The lore, man.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
I saw 2 seasons of Battlestar Galactica, and I
Mm.
completely forgot about what happened. But like, there's a lot of like cloak and dagger shit. And you're like,
Really?
oh no, they're a Cylon. I knew they were a Cylon. How could they be a Cylon? He wasn't a Cylon. Every episode's like Cylon.
Are Cylons aliens or are they
Cylons are like these
robots?
robots that are like human-like.
They can
Yeah.
completely shift into like whatever human. Well,
So like the thing was like,
okay, we're gonna get into this.
yeah, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna have to because like this is my recollection of it, or at least the synopsis. Like there are these robots that become sentient, and like they're like a third race or something or like a different race. So they are conflicting with humans. They move away, and like they have like this core. Like United Nations kind of deal, meet up with them, like, say, how you doing? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they would send a representative from the humans to meet over with them, and they would send a representative from the robots. And they haven't been sending representatives for a long ass time. I'm like, these guys still exist?
Mm-hmm.
And then one time they get attacked, and they're like, what the hell's going on? They're getting attacked by like old school robots.
Mm-hmm.
But they find out later on, like, the old school robots only knew where they were and all that other stuff. Like, those weren't the real ones. Like, they've just been living amongst all the humans.
Oh shit!
Like, they're just super realistic. They don't even know there's like sleeper cell robots. They just like get activated sometimes.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's pretty heavy.
and they're just like sabotaging shit. They don't even know sometimes. They're like, da-da-da-da-da, rip all this shit out. And maybe they'll be like, I don't know what happened.
God damn.
I think what drew me towards it was I'll just tell you this.
Yeah.
They destroy the Earth, obviously.
Yeah.
So the Earth gets destroyed, and like it's this entire race of humans, but whatever's left, just on this massive ship trying to find a new home. Mm-hmm. So I mean that's not new, material, or it's it's not a new story, but the way that it's just great acting. I feel it's just great acting, and some a little bit of shitty CGI shit going on there.
Yeah,
but
you look past it, though,
but it
because
was
the
the
story's so
the
good.
time. It came out in
Yeah.
like the
2000s.
the early 2000s, something like that, like
I think
2002,
It's like
2003.
when we were in high school. Yeah,
Yeah,
Around
something
time,
like that.
2003-ish.
Yeah, so it's a great show.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
There's a card game, and it's just like you're trying to find out who the robot is, and they get like a.
There's a card game.
There is. We can go into this later.
All right.
We will go into it, but I'm just
send
saying,
me the
like,
link.
It is literally like
Let me use your Amazon Prime, dude.
That's an idea for a show right there. Is just two people who really know how to play that game.
Oh, no.
Bring somebody in that knows nothing about that universe.
That
doesn't even.
What's going on? I haven't seen this series.
Yeah, dude, that would be hilarious.
That just seems mean. Just to do that, like, yeah, come
I'd
on,
like
man.
to see it. It sounds.
Also, we're not going to tell you that we're recording this right now.
I know, right?
I don't know if that's legal.
Why do I have to wear these headphones?
100%
What are
sure
these
it's not
microphones
legal.
for?
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's almost like To Catch a Predator. The dude's like, "What's going on, guys?"
Yeah.
Like at the end of that, he has to like sounds like so can't like. You want to be on TV? I don't know why they always say yes.
Dude.
It's like how do they have a show? Because that dude has to sign. Like that fucking Predator's like, yeah, sure, I'll sign away. I don't know why not. You know,
Yeah.
get some FaceTime.
I wonder if maybe like there's a thing because it's like a news-ish outlet, if they're able to forego the
kind of like a settlement process because there's really no crime that happened because like
because it didn't actually
Yeah.
happen. They caught it before it happened. Yeah.
Wow, think about it like that.
Well, also like cops, like they used to be able to put people on TV, right? Like
Not they would still have to like hey
Yeah, they had to blur
release
out
form,
faces and
yeah.
stuff.
I thought that was usually like the person who wasn't getting arrested that had his face blurred out because like
Yeah, it's because they didn't have the consent of that
but
person.
the person that got arrested
Oh, yeah,
was
no.
like not blurred out and it's like,
Nah.
well, once you're arrested, we could fucking show you on whatever TV we want to because
Yeah.
you belong to the government now or whatever.
I would like to think they have some sort of rights left over, like okay, well, there's Miranda rights, like hey, before you
Well,
get
you have a
arrested,
lot
so-
of rights because
That'd
you're
be
not
cool.
guilty yet.
Yeah,
right?
You're innocent until proven guilty.
Assuming,
Yeah.
that's
You
still
still
a
have the right to
thing.
privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, you always get the arraignment hearings and all that other stuff. That some of it's public knowledge, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in depth with it because at this point, I'm just feeling based. Like I feel like this should be like I could be completely wrong.
Why
That's
not,
the
man?
way I
And it's
talk
also
most
state
of
to
the
state as
time,
well.
yeah.
If you do it in your Alex Jones impersonation, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Although we might get taken.
No,
off
we'll get taken
several
off.
different media.
Apparently, yeah, you get assassinated. Like as soon as the pitch reaches Alex Jones's level, and you say something that sounds along the lines of that, strike down.
You know what the secret is to do Alex Jones lines with the Kanye face.
With a Kanye.
and they'll be like, these silly guys. And that's what they think because of Kanye.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason he got taken off the air is because he was airing all his stuff without a license.
Oh no, he had a radio broadcast as well. That was one.
Oh, the radio broadcast.
Yeah, it was
okay.
the pirate radio.
Right.
So he just hijacked, like he would just blast the fuck out of other stations to take over the airwave. And he had
Wow.
I don't know if he ran it, but it would just broadcast the InfoWars bullshit.
Right.
So FCC was like, fuck no.
Right.
That was FCC's version. YouTube and all the other fucking private platforms was
Right.
like, nah, we're just tired of this shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's like we're tired of him like doxing fucking like people that were part of like either Parkland or the whole Pizzagate or all the other crazy conspiracies. The actual innocent people that he thinks is a conspiracy, like they're getting abused by his followers.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we're not gonna be a platform for this dude to fucking have people lynch other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty insane. I was actually on Facebook before you guys came over here, and my friend had posted something about John McCain passing and everything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that happened, huh?
Yeah.
He passed sometime early this morning.
Yeah. So he was posting this thing, just kind of like doing a tribute thing, and I don't feel either way about it. I don't really follow politics. I mean political figures as
Right.
closely, except for like the obvious ones that
Yeah.
are doing stuff
That we can't avoid no matter how hard we try.
Right.
Yeah.
But this guy goes on a rant saying, well, I wouldn't support a guy who blah blah blah, mercenaries and geopolitical wars and blah blah. I was like, wow, okay, cool. So I go to this guy's page, and it's just like birtherism shit.
Oh, it's a
and
dumpster
fucking,
fire.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, the cognizant dissonance that was like
Yeah.
occurring in that moment was so palpable. I was like, what is
He was like heavily affected by all these like news articles keep popping up on
I
Facebook.
thought my head was gonna explode like that David Chappelle skit with the
Oh.
black white supremacists.
Ah!
They find out he's black and just
Blood all over everybody else's face.
I was like, oh my god, this is
Brain.
crazy. But there's I'm like, these people actually exist,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering how they go through their day to day. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like they can't talk about it in public until they meet other people. Like maybe just like a thread of it. Like, hey, you know what's kind of weird? like whatever conspiracy theory. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, you think that's weird? Yeah, I think it's weird too.
Right.
About it, yeah. But like one time they're like, yeah, I agree. Hold it. And it's like, open the floodgates and welcome to my Facebook page.
Yeah, man.
Fire of like crazy opinions.
I think the worst part is when these people find each other. You know, when they're like, "Hey, you."
Oh yeah, power
you
in
too?
numbers. Yeah, for
Like
sure.
everybody's entitled to have their own opinion.
Sure.
But I feel like some of these opinions are not fact based or they're not researched heavily. Like you read like a headline, it's like buzzworthy or whatever. It's like you'll never believe this or something like it's exaggerated. Some people don't even read past the headlines. They like see the headline, maybe a picture, and like, wow, this is it, you know. And that they add that in their story. They had how the picture looks.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I said,
Right.
cross-referencing to other stories, maybe actually legitimate sources, which is now also kind of up in the air now.
Right.
'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody has their own kind of bias. So it's like, it's a lot easier to just come up with ideas that people just throw factoids out so you sound kind of like interesting.
Dude, yeah, and it's even more frightening that they might not actually be that person's opinion.
No, they just
You know what I
they're
mean? Like
mimicking
that's the
parody.
thing that I think we need to watch out for is like you have these groups on all sides in every direction, you know, about every topic, you know, and it's just like, oh, I like this group because of X, Y, or Z, so whatever they say is what I believe, you know, and it's just like, you know, like you don't actually think that way. You just think you think that way because your team leader told you had to think that way. You know what I mean? Which I guess is kind of warranted with the way that the public school system works and the way that we've all been trained to be good followers, you know, except for the few people who have leadership ability, you know, like I keep finding myself in these situations where I'm just like, why is that happening? And then like I remember being a teacher, I'm like, oh, that's why that happened, you know, like because you're supposed to shut your mouth and do what you're told. It's just like, fuck, man, like you don't even feel that way.
You don't have
know?
enough time to have intelligent discourse with students. Like, well, I only got like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending if you have block or just regular periods. It's like, well, I would really like to talk to you about this and have a discussion about it. Not everybody would be on the same level. Everybody thinks they're like, oh, and they'd go home and tell teachers like radical or whatever. But at the same time, they would be deviating from the lesson plans. They'd be behind.
Oh, we got this test on Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, there's some check in the box that you have to get. And sadly, you can't just interact with every student unless they come out and reach to you like, hey, I thought what you said was interesting. It's like, yeah, we can talk about it without kind of being like indoctrination, like, you know, kind of have like a discourse. Which I feel like if you have contrasting views, it just became like tribe A versus tribe B. It's not like, well, let's discuss this, and then it becomes like whataboutisms, like what about this, what about that?
Right.
It's like cool, but that's not really an argument. That's
It's not.
That's a list of things that aren't related.
Right.
Kinda.
You know what I've learned is like if I don't pay any attention to it and I don't have an opinion about it when I talk to people, I can be cool with them just by asking their opinion.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what do you feel? I'm like, I honestly don't understand. Why don't you tell me about it? You know? And then they say what you have to think about it. And then I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I don't tell them how I feel about it. No. You know? Like as a bartender, I keep staying in the middle, you know, and like make everybody happy, you know? But it's like, it seems like almost like that's like the easiest way to learn now is to like let somebody rant for 5 minutes about something and be like, okay, cool. Well, there's a group of people that feel that way, you know, and like
don't accept it just at face value. Like, yep, that's it. All right, this is my
exactly.
belief now too.
Exactly, man.
You make
Exactly.
a compelling argument, a very one-sided compelling.
You
argument.
guys may or may not have seen this show that's on. Well, it's on Hulu right now, but it's like a Viceland show, I think, and it's called Hate Thy Neighbor.
Oh yeah,
watch
that guy's cool, man.
What is his name?
I forget, but I know you're talking about. He's that British dude, right?
Yeah.
Let
me see what.
And he's a comic too. Like
He is a comic.
stand-up,
He does stand up while he's doing. I mean, they bring in his stand up, you know, back
in
to
between.
back with his.
He goes deep though, man. That
Jamali
guy
Maddox, yeah.
Jamali Maddox.
Shout out to Jamali Maddox, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is fucking hilarious.
We'll get him on the
number
next
one.
podcast.
And he does exactly what you guys are talking about. I would love to. Oh my god.
I'll send an email to see what happens.
He'll ask questions. Please do.
Yeah. All right, let's see why not. We're LLC, I guess.
You got nothing to lose.
He's like interviewing these like really, you know, intensely. I don't know, like they're on the fringe of life, pretty much. Like, you know what I mean? Just white supremacists, everything. And even in the UK, he did an episode there.
Oh, it's
this
a big
guy
deal.
This guy almost tries to fight him because he just like doesn't. He feels like he's getting badgered by just being asked questions about why he does things that he does. You know, why he might vandalize a mosque or, you know what I mean, just random shit. And you know, I feel like that's exactly what needs to be done, because when you hold up a mirror to somebody and you say, why are you doing this, like what's happening, and they don't have an explanation for it, it forces them to think about it. It forces them to, because a lot of people are just mindless about, being or feeling a certain way about something, specifically when it comes to hurting others or it's judging others.
It's the easiest way to join a tribe. It's just
hatred, racism, like all that stuff is a part of those echo chambers that occur. When people are just constantly hearing the same thing, it becomes fact to them. There's no longer any critical thinking or conversation for that matter. So I just wanted to plug that show pretty much.
Yeah, no, that's legit, man. That's legit. He goes deep too. He'll put himself in danger, man. Like it's crazy. Like just to ask questions, just to be like, why?
Yeah, he was in the deep south with these.
Dude, you got balls, dude.
Like, I wouldn't be able to do
that
it.
out. How many seasons are there?
2 available.
Nice.
That I can tell on Hulu. I would be surprised if they stopped airing the show, but hopefully they have something else in the works with him because it's a great show. Yeah.
We'll see if we can get on that episode.
Yeah.
But we were pretty neutral when it comes to values and opinions. We don't really have any. So it's just like
we have no values.
Yeah.
No opinions.
It's like we're just kind of we're kind of tabula rasa here. It's like whatever flows and goes. I mean, Kanye kind of influences us, but we try to fight him off. No, we're fighting him off right now.
All right.
Okay. Radicalizes the show sometimes.
All right.
This looks like a delicious sandwich.
Hey, please, no. Motherfucker. Eat my sandwich. So anyways, you are an amazing bartender.
No. I'm just a
You
bartender.
make a
Here's the thing.
fabulous vodka water.
No.
There you go. Thank you.
You are very knowledgeable, and I'm not trying to blow your head up or anything like that.
Thanks,
but I think that you're a well-rounded bartender. That's what I think that it really comes down to.
I try. That's something that matters to me.
What got you into bartending? What is?
Man,
what's
this is. So I used to be a mechanic at a bowling alley.
Nice.
Yeah.
You look like one.
I know. That's what I'm saying, right? So, if you've ever been in the back of a bowling alley, each lane has this huge machine in the back. It's like the size of a Volkswagen.
Fucking just
cycle the
spinning.
pins, cycle the balls, all that kind of stuff. Hundreds of thousands of moving parts. And a buddy of mine, I grew up working, weird ass jobs, And I got a job as a porter, just sweeping and mopping in a bowling alley when I was in high school. And then a buddy of mine that I met there not that I met there, he was a good friend of mine, but at the time, and he became the head mechanic at this bowling alley in Oxnard that's now gone.
Okay.
And I was working there. Oh, it's actually real famous. It's called Wagon Wheel Bowl. It's right off the 101. If you ever pass through there, you'd see it every time. I was in the back one day, and dude, being a mechanic at a bowling alley is a badass job. You just sit in the shop, you read books or Maxim magazine or whatever. It was
Maxim. That's very specific.
It was 2003, 2004.
Right.
So you're just sitting back there waiting for shit to break. And you could smoke in there. You could,
what?
You know what I mean? We had our own bathroom.
I feel half the stuff you weren't supposed to be doing, but that's cool.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
So nobody came back and
no.
Is the machines working?
Just
poke on the wall, and then he'll hear the knocks. He'll just do his thing.
No joke, cigarette hanging out of your mouth while you're fixing the machine.
Nice.
There's children on the other side of the wall. It's fine. But yeah, and we were really disgruntled dudes, all of us that worked there at the time. And so the lady that worked at the front desk, she called back one day and she goes, "Oh my God, a bus full of people just pulled up. I need you to come up here and make Bloody Marys." And I'm this is how grumpy a dude I was at the time.
Amazing.
I had a cigarette in my hand, and she's like, "You gotta come up here and make Bloody Marys." I'm like, "No." Click. No explanation, right?
Right.
So then she calls back and she's like, "No, seriously, there's 100 people up here. I'm by myself. I really need your help."
So 100 plus people exactly want
Just
the exact same
random
drink.
ass people, right?
Wow.
And so I all right, fuck it. I go up there. My hands are caked in grease, caked, and inside the fingerprints are dirty. You know what I mean?
It's just flavor.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary
And
mix.
so I cruise up there and try to wash my hands, and I started making some drinks. By the end of the day, I was like, I got the hang of this Bloody Mary thing.
Dude, you're making 100 people Bloody Marys.
Yeah,
You get it right.
for 4 hours. Yeah, I'm good at it now.
Jesus.
And I talked to the bar manager, and I was like, "Hey, you need some help at the bar?" And she's like, "A couple days a week. If you're here Tuesday, Thursday. If you want to open the bar, cut fruit and shit." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I did it, and I did that for a year or so, and I bartended for the seniors league. like senior citizens league, right?
Oh, what
that
do
was,
old people drink?
So you're just opening up cans of Schlitz and making a whole bunch
Midday.
of like
There we go.
wagon wheels.
Yeah.
Dude, it's terrible. So midday, Tuesdays and Thursdays, from like noon to 4. And there was this one old dude who was there with like a mistress kind of situation, and she would drink like Merlot, like a glass of Merlot, and he wants a cranberry juice, no ice. You know,
wow.
This is ridiculous, dude. This is how much I remember about this. Like I remember
That's a very
people's
particular
drinks.
couple and a very particular drink.
Absolutely. And so I'd make their drinks, and they would leave me no tip. And then there was this old Asian dude named Dash who like did not have it together, and he could barely speak, but he would stomp around, and he'd come in and he'd like slam his hand down on the bar and be like, Coors Light. And I was like, Coors Light was $2.75. And he'd leave me $3 and walk away. He never said another word to me the entire time I knew him. He only ever said Coors Light. No hello, no thank you, no how are, nothing. The only 2 words that motherfucker ever said to me were Coors Light. Wow. So that was it, man. And I, like, as weird as it is, like, that's how I started. And then I stopped for a while and got into teaching. And then I ended up like working at a nightclub. Did like bottle service. Like,
so you're the dude that was like, these ladies are lovely, but they would really like a bottle.
right? Yeah. No. There was somebody else who was
Okay.
way better prepared for that. Like, come on, man.
Were you the dude that brought
Imagine
up
this
the
without the beard. You know what I mean? Like, I look like
a
a
very
fucking
strapping
like,
young man's like, yeah,
I
you guys
often
right.
do.
I do
like
want
a
to spend
potato,
$500.
man. Like, so I would get in there and like we had bottle service and DJs and stuff like that, and people were like, "What's good here?" And I'm like, "Oh Jesus," like I could tell you like
What's good here?
like. Chortling cocks in your mouth is good, but you can't hear me. You can't even hear me say that. I could say whatever the fuck I want because there's 100 billion decibels over our heads, and that girl is in your way, and like it was silly. So I did that for a while, and then that place shut down because of bad management. And then I worked at like hotel bars and dive bars. I worked at this rock club. Not even a club. It was like this rock and roll venue. It was not venue-y at all. It was in Moore Park. It was only there for like a year, and it got closed down too because the owner's bad management, whatever. So I just bounced around to a bunch of bars, and then I found a spot. There was like a steakhouse, seafood, spot in Carpinteria up by Santa Barbara, and they were running a classic cocktail program. And so I jumped on that, and it forced me to just read some books. Like there were no it was a tiny town. It was like 13,000 people, So there's like only 3 stoplights. There's like 3 full liquor licenses, and there were no bartenders in that town. And so I was like, well, I got to find this information by myself. So I just got on Google and started buying books, reading books, and learning what I could about different cocktails and the history of the cocktails. And because we had a classic list, everybody had questions about, whoa, what's this drink? And so you kind of had to just learn, It was cool, man. I dug it. It was a fun place to work. I had a lot of like pretty high end guests, some celebrities that used to frequent the place. So that was pretty cool. You're like hanging out, and Batman walks in. You're just like, oh,
Adam West Batman?
No, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
Oh
no!
Man.
Yeah, so he had like a vacation spot up there or something, but he would come in and like at first he cruises in and is like, oh, let me just get this drink, And then, like, a couple days later, he comes in again. I'm like, dude, he's back. Like, fucking Batman's
Batman's
back. Like, guy says Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's back.
And so, like, whatever, a couple of times he comes back that summer, and then he's gone for, like, a year. And the next summer comes around, he pops in. And I was like, oh, shit, Batman's back, He walks up, and he goes, hey, Chris, how's it going? And I was like, it's going good. Good to see you again. Would you like a Jameson on the rocks with a ginger ale back? And he goes, I would absolutely love one of those. And on the inside, like, that's me totally trying so hard to be professional, trying so hard to be legit. I never called him by his name. Never once. Nice. In, like, the 9 years that we were, in the customer-bartender relationship, whatever. But, like, on the inside, I'm like, fucking Batman knows my name, dude. He knows my name.
Did he ever question if you knew his name? Was it like,
no, never, not once.
Wow.
Yeah, he would come in and like we would talk about baseball. We talk about whatever was going on. And this is before he got back into acting. Like he was pretty unrecognizable on the streets because the last time people saw him on screen was years and years ago. Yeah, and so like came in. He actually looked kind of sick at first. Because we hadn't seen him in so long. And then he started getting acting work again and started getting these big, like, this was before Birdman. This was before, And so it was cool, man. It was way cool to watch him, like, kind of, like, come back up,
Did he go, like, I don't want the Jameson today. I just want the ginger ale.
No, man, he
Yeah,
never.
like
No,
come back to basics. Like
no.
I'm ready to do Birdman now.
No, dude.
I need to stop the Jameson.
Surprisingly, like I've bartended for a lot of like A-list parties, you know, through this catering company I work for in LA, and it's funny because you could see how like the way that the music like affects drink trends, and in Hollywood you can see how like health trends like will change the drink. So like when I worked at the club, one day somebody came in and was like, "Let me get Henny and Coke," and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" You know,
right.
What the fuck is that? And he's like, "Hennessy and Coke," and I was like, "Why would you drink that?" You know, like no, I didn't like. I wasn't like, okay. I legitimately looked at this big scary dude and was like, "Why would you drink that?" You know, like. 2 days later, I hear some rap song. The guy's talking about Hennessy and Coke. I'm like,
right.
oh, okay, there you go.
Let me get some lean.
Yeah, right. But the same thing happened. Like there was like a DJ that had like a sample that said it's Patron time. You know, so randomly when there'd be like a lull in the music, you hit the button, boom, it's Patron time. Next thing you know, let me get 12 shots of Patron.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, you guys are lemmings. You know, like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
straight up.
So in Hollywood, there was one year that like we worked this big party, big super high profile party, and everybody's drinking vodka sodas. And then somebody publishes some paper that says that like the body doesn't absorb agave sugars the same way that it absorbs glucose.
That's what people have been telling me. Yeah, they're like,
Yeah, so it's like
Wow.
what ends up happening with the idea is it tastes sweet and it passes through your system before it can be absorbed, right? So the next year we get all set up for the party. We got pallets because I mean it's like 600 people at this party. We got pallets of vodka and like 2 cases of tequila. Tequila's gone like half an hour.
Damn.
Everybody went tequila and soda, tequila, squeeze of lime juice, you know, like all night long. So the next year, I'm like, hey, we need way more tequila and way less everything else. And they're like, nah, we'll get more tequila, but we'll keep bringing everything else. And then we're loading out that next morning. I was like, see what they didn't drink? Like, all they want is tequila. Fuck, we don't need to carry all this shit, you know?
Wow.
This is a fat kid in me being like, I don't want to do more manual labor.
Yeah. I know what they want.
Yeah, totally. So I you know, I've been in a bunch of different situations behind the bar, and then I found the Stave here in Long Beach, and you know, like just applied. They took me in off the streets. I didn't know anybody. You know, I didn't have any kind of networking going on. It was literally like they needed somebody. I happened to have the skill set that they needed.
Right.
And then like after a few trial like shifts was like, oh, you actually fit with our crew, like cool, welcome to the team. And I was just like, this never happens in the bar world, you know.
Really?
Nobody, dude, the bar world is so hard to
Would
break
you have to
into.
like bar back again and like work your way up?
Sometimes that happens. Like we're dealing with somebody right now who's got bartending experience.
But he's like, no
he's
go.
bar backing for us
Yeah.
now because he can't, because he's like me, he's off the streets, like he doesn't have any friends who work at the bar. Like you got to know somebody. It's like
Yeah.
everything else these days, you know, you got to know somebody in
So you're
in
like
that spot.
a
so.
lone wanderer just wandering from
Dude,
the north,
one man
just
wolf pack,
coming-
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what time frame you got your wife there, but just imagine you now, just bearded, bartending random places. They close down a year later after you leave, and like don't know why. Don't know why.
Dude, shout out to Slice and Carpinteria. They're closing this month. Yeah,
Oh man, see,
yeah, it's
man.
super sad.
I'm not saying you're the touch of death,
Super
but like,
sad.
I think you're what gets the business going, and it's like
It
you kind of just give
happens.
them that look in the back, and the glint in your eye, like, see you guys later.
Yeah.
And they just like fucking crumble, dude.
Poof. Yeah,
Sodom and Gomorrah,
like
dude.
snapping, dude.
Pillars of salt.
All gone. It's crazy, man. I don't know what it is. I think there's just so many places in this industry that just close constantly.
Absolutely.
You know? Like it's just coincidence. You know.
It's just like restaurants. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
It's so crazy
A lot
how
of them don't
fast
last
these
a year,
fucking places
so.
close. Yeah.
You've got so much experience that you bring to the table, though. This is good.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
man.
It's like-
most of it is stupid. You know, most of it is
stupid.
dumb.
But you're like, I imagine like this montage of you just fucking Bloody Marys go and like fucking 5 scenes.
like
of-
not knowing what I'm doing, just
Yeah,
knocking
yeah.
shit over, like 80s music with a sax
Yeah.
solo in the background,
Just shaking
just me-
shit,
Yeah.
fucking-
I'm getting like an 8-bit video game scene in my head right now.
Dude, that would be
just
fun.
like just
Burger
fucking
time?
getting them out, like fucking Diner Dash and shit. Like, you know,
That'd be cool. No, man. I mean, it's a cool industry. I didn't think I was gonna ever get into, and like now it's like my career. It's what I do for a living. And people ask me all the time, they're like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I do it.
Yeah.
You know, like this is what I do. I'm a bartender. Like if I can make this comedy thing happen, you know, which probably not, but I'm gonna do it like a hobby
Yeah,
until
sure.
like I find out if I'm good enough or not. You know." But between that and bartending, like that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. You know,
It's like this podcast. Like I expect 2 people to listen. It's me and David.
right?
And
Dude,
3
I will fucking listen.
Like 3. If I give you the link, or
Yeah.
if I tell you what the name is, and then like a search engine would actually generate our name somewhere.
Hell yeah.
You got 3 people listening. I don't really care how many people listen.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, there's just so many out there. That's why we call this podcast jaded, because it's like, hey, you ever hear this podcast? Like, dude, I don't know if you've heard, like, people are listening to podcasts like 2.5 times speed because like they want to listen to more podcasts.
Right?
So
Is
I'm
that
like,
real?
Yeah,
It really
shit.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I don't know like what podcasts to listen to, but some podcasts
I should fucking do that.
Yeah,
Why didn't
dude,
I think
way
of that?
efficient, way
Jesus
efficient.
Christ.
like, I don't know about people listening to 2 podcasts at the same time, but they all listen at 2 times the speed.
Dude.
And like sometimes their pacing is so slow, so you're like it's like hour and a half podcast, but like
Right.
you knock it down to like 45 minutes, and they sound like they're talking like just a little bit faster than normal.
Yeah.
Like for example, a Jocko podcast. I don't know if you listen to that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well it's like a Navy SEAL, like former Navy SEAL. It talks really slow, very articulate, but there's a lot of pauses in between.
Right.
He won't use pause words,
Yeah.
but he'll slow down and talk like this. So you put it at 2 times speed, it's talking like a normal person.
Just a normal conversation.
Yeah, normal
That's
conversation. You're like, okay, move along.
I don't know,
move
man.
along,
We're
move
pretty
along.
rapid fire. You might end up like getting a chipmunk thing happening.
Oh, that'd be fine. You know, because that forces people to like slow down.
right.
It was like, you know, I can't listen to that to him, or they'll just be like, "Fuck that, they sound like chipmunks."
No way, you
Yeah,
gotta
it
you
is.
gotta hype on it. Be like, hey, you guys check out this podcast yet? Nah, you should check it out. They sound like chipmunks. It's fucking
It's the
crazy.
weirdest thing.
Just smoke a J and listen to these guys talk like chipmunks about real shit. Like they're get serious.
I hope that if this ever becomes like a massive thing, that people like it's a well-known thing to smoke weed and listen to this podcast.
Right.
That's why I was like,
I want to break into that demographic.
I think that's what the name was kind of going at. Like when you said like jaded podcast, 'cause that's what originally our name was. Like,
Yeah.
I was looking like there's like so many jaded podcasts out there, and like I'm like listening to some of these just like little snippets here and there. Like, no, it's about smoking weed. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
So I don't think we can break in this demographic because A, we don't even fit that demographic, and B is like 42 other people have this name for their podcast.
Exactly.
So I
That's
just switch the
fair.
words around, and then like, hey, it takes on a new meaning.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's true.
Yeah, it's funny how it worked out that way.
Yeah, man.
So it's like listening to 5. There's so many podcasts out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how many you're subscribed to, but yeah, 2 times
Too
speed.
many.
2 times speed. Maybe try some while you're asleep. I don't know. It's the only way you're gonna fit in.
Dude,
all
speaking
these
of
episodes.
sleep, you guys fucking shit.
I
guys hear
set
about-
that up on purpose. So
Right?
that would happen.
Did you guys hear about that band, Wolfpack?
No,
They
no.
did that thing on Spotify where they put a whole album out called Sleepify that was just tracks of silence. And they told, when Spotify first happened, they told all their fans, like, hey, get this album and let it run on your computer while you sleep. And we'll get the pay for the hits, and then we'll do something cool with that money. And they made like $20,000.
Oh my god.
And they took that money and used it to fund a tour that they did for free. They did a free tour.
That's fucking
Off
awesome.
that $20,000, and I was just
That's
like,
genius.
man, that's the way we need to start thinking in this world. You know, like we can't be like trying to, you know, hold on to the past. Like we need to be thinking about cool shit like that because that was baller. So now I just listen to them all the time just because like they're fucking cool.
You
Like,
just-
the
you
music
just
is
listen-
good too.
Oh, okay, so you just listen to like extreme silence.
Yeah, it's just garbage music. These guys are smart, so I'm supporting. No. It's a cool ass band for sure.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah.
You and Tanya are going to start one, right?
Yeah, man, we're gonna start one that has to do
Yeah.
with music. Like, okay, so like, remember back in the day, you used to listen to music with your friends.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how you found out about shit. Like
Yeah.
I remember being I was telling you this the other night. Like,
Yeah.
I remember being in like 8th grade, 7th grade, and somebody coming in and being like, "Hey, have you ever heard Guns N' Roses?" And I'm like, "No, well, who are they?" You know, or whatever. You know, and then they'd be like, "I got a tape from my cousin. You should come over to my house after school. We'll listen to it in my room." You know, and like I would go to a friend's house after school and listen to like Appetite for Destruction on a bootleg copy.
Yeah.
That's how I learned about those bands. How I learned about Metallica. That's how I learned about, you know, like all that shit in the early 90s, late 80s. And so I was like, dude, nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't listen to records, you know? Like, that used to be a thing. That was a whole activity. You get 6-7 people together in a room, just put a record on and just listen.
Well, so
you
they
know,
have
and
that
just
now.
hang.
They call them listening parties now. Yeah, I know.
That's a legit thing?
It is.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah. You didn't know that?
They brought that back. It's just like it's even more pretentious now because obviously you have a group of people you don't know, and like
It's strangers.
yeah, it's like strangers, but they kind of make it like it's not like an opening for an album. It kind of is. Sometimes they'll just have a listening party for an album that just came out. Maybe it's been a week or so, but like it's just an excuse to have people over and play that album
Yeah.
Yeah.
on loop.
Okay.
Yeah, not the same feel though. I get what you're saying though. Like bang, like dude, this is cool.
Somebody who knows you, knows your
like,
sensibilities, be like, hey, I think you would like these guys.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
let me give you a copy of that. Yeah. So basically, like we realized, like when I taught high school, I taught music.
Yeah.
You know, so I have some formal music education. You know,
you're fucking Jables.
What's that?
Fucking Tenacious D. Sorry.
Oh, right. No, I'm not that good. I'm a fucking trombone player, you know, like it's not.
Hey,
yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Isn't that the sound of a trombone makes?
I don't know.
I wish I had a trombone right here.
Dude,
I'll Google it later.
I would tear it up in one key, because that's all I practiced. I didn't practice the other ones. That's why I wasn't a trombone player. I was a trombone teacher. Anyways.
Teaching 101, guys.
But yeah, so like I realized that, like, you know, Tanya, this is a girl I work with, and like she has very different musical sensibilities from me, and I've been like I'm always on the hunt for new music, you know. Like I got this thing, I don't know if you guys do this too, but I'm always trying to find the right music to match every situation. Like no matter what I'm doing, I'm like, ooh, what song would go perfect with this right now?
Yeah,
that's
a part of the criteria. There.
Yeah.
The only two things I do it for is like I have a pleasant drive to work, or I'm late as fuck to work.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Put the latest fuck to work track is like I need to beat this song right now.
Right.
And it's usually like speed metal or something really good. Like, all right, I'm gonna fucking either I beat this song or I'm late or I die. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't drive 26 miles an hour listening to Megadeth.
Yeah.
You could try.
I have legitimately had times in my life where I've just had a playlist that just had the Benny Hill theme on. So when I had my headphones on, I was walking around town or doing something, I saw some crazy shit, I would just play it. So I'd have this whole like performance art thing going on in my own head, just like watching some old lady try to pick something up off the ground or something, you know, just like, you know, like, I don't know why, it's just like always been so entertaining to me.
That song applies to everything.
Yeah, right, it makes everything better. Just whatever you're watching, speed it up a little bit, put on the Benny Hill thing. It's fucking great.
Battlestar Galactica.
Dude, I bet it would work. I don't know, I haven't watched it, but I'm going to try it now. I'm going to do it that way too. I'm going to be like, oh.
So you and Tanya are putting together.
So yeah, basically, like I realized she's got these whole different sensibilities in music, and so I was like, I want to hear from somebody who knows who I am. I don't want to just listen to Pandora and have them have their, you know, algorithm feed me music. And so I was like, dude, like, how about we do something where you give me an album, I take a week, listen to it, critically break it down, analyze it, you know, like in a very official and open-minded way, and then come back to her and we just sit around and talk about it, you know. I made it through 3 tracks. It's been like 2 weeks. I'm on like track 3, and it's fucking painful. I'm trying so hard. There's a band called Of Montreal.
Of Montreal, yeah.
And she loves these guys, and her brother Jimmy, he loves those guys. Like they went to see him live in LA a couple months back, and I'm trying really hard to be open-minded about it, dude. But it's like the first song, like I was like, legit, okay, tension and release, like they got different, like, you know, motifs going on, this and that, and then I was just like, what would this song be great for? And all I could think of when I went back and listened to it was like Jazzercise. Just play this song.
It's just like,
it's like literally the only thing you can do while you listen to this song is like Jazzercise.
They're a pretty eclectic band. Like it's like really fucking strange.
Totally. But I'm trying so hard, you know. But like by the time you get like the third song, you're just like, did somebody throw a toaster in the bathtub? Is that how you came up with this sound? Like I can't do this, you know. Like,
it just sounds like a whole bunch of flies being zapped at the same time.
Yeah. But like also like having that opinion and trying to be open minded is really difficult.
Yeah,
you know?
sometimes it's like
I don't know if there's probably like 9 or 10 other tracks on the album that I'm just like, oh, this is harder than any like research paper I've ever had to do, you know.
Well, what if your analyzation of, you know, certain tracks is just you shitting on it? Is that okay too?
Oh yeah. That's fully expected.
Cool?
I let her know right away. I was like, look, this is going to be a lot of fun. You're not always going to like what I have to say about the music, but I'm going to try. You know, I'm going to try. So, you know. Excuse me. I thought for sure she was going to come at me with something very different, and then I heard that and I was like, uh-oh, what did I do?
Yeah.
But I want to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun, you know, and like Tanya's somebody that I like talking to, just like talking to.
Yeah.
And I like to hear my own voice, and I like to listen to music, so I figured podcast is the best way to go.
Okay, what's the name of it?
I don't know yet.
TBA.
I want to call it Want to Listen to Records.
I like that.
Right? Because that's like...
It is what it is, man.
Basically, yeah. I don't know, though. I haven't run it by Tanya. We're very infant stages. We legit are talking about getting together to do it. This is all the equipment I have.
Dude, that's all you need.
So we're gonna like sit down on the patio this day and just
Yeah.
like record us having conversations out on the streets in Long Beach, like about music
Nice.
that we don't have the rights to. So you can't. Like,
We can talk about it, but
Yeah.
as soon as a note comes out, we're fucked.
but you know, they like there's a lot of like Patreon accounts that are doing like commentary tracks for movies and stuff. Like
I like Mystery Science.
you know,
Theater
yeah, like
2000.
just start the movie now, and then we'll watch this movie together with
Yeah.
you and your friends and Kevin Smith or you know whatever
Yeah.
it is, you know. And so I think that like we could set like okay, we're gonna take a like break right here, listen to track 2.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Okay, let's talk about track 2. You know, and if people are willing to do that, then cool. And if not, whatever.
Yeah.
And people might not even want to listen to the record. They might just want to hear us talk shit. You know, and maybe nobody listens. Maybe we have 3 listeners. Like,
Well,
that's
there's
cool.
kind of 2 types of media being given there. You get to listen to music,
Yeah.
and then you get to listen to commentary or just like banter or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it.
For sure.
And you know, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I legit like went out to lunch with my 6-year-old nephew the other day and turned on Evernote and just recorded us having a conversation at lunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, man, about 10 minutes listening to that, I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. I could totally sit and listen to myself
Right.
talk to my nephew for a second.
I would, in the infant stages of our podcast, I would call him when I'm over in San Diego.
Uh-huh.
Just talk to him for like 30, 45 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know you're being recorded, right? I was like, are you serious? Like, no, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm not recording.
Dude,
I
I
didn't
thought
get
he
his
was
consent.
recording me.
So I was like,
There's an app for that, okay?
Is there really?
Of course there
There's an
is.
app for
There's an app
everything.
for everything.
But-
I thought that shit was illegal though, right?
no, I wasn't recording. I would just say that I was recording, and then his tone would change. Because it was like, oh, no,
Oh,
I'm being
shit.
recorded. You know, like,
Yeah.
because like, hey, we're just trying to be casual. You know, like, how do I get a feel for David as a co-host? Because like, if I say we're recording, like, hey, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna record, then he's like, is he a different person?
Yeah.
So I noticed like it didn't change.
I mean, I felt different about
I'm sorry,
some
I
of the
kind of mind
things.
fucked you there.
No, that's totally fine. And I realized that you were not recording. It's
Yeah.
okay. But in that moment, I was like, wait, are you? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You immediately like, what did I say? Did I say?
Yeah.
No, we're basically the same, but, you know, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
All this is in my face, on my head,
Yeah.
and this guy's here. So
Yeah.
that's the only difference, pretty much, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many episodes you guys done now?
We're on. This is the 5th episode.
5th
Dude,
episode,
So now we're-
extravaganza.
As soon as I upload yesterday's and today's, we can go on Instagram, Spotify.
Uh-huh.
Spotify requires you have at least 5 episodes,
Okay.
and I think iTunes. We've been iTunes ready for a while. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I don't really want to make an iTunes account. Sorry,
Yeah.
Apple. Like, what do you want, right? That's like step 1 is making an iTunes account. Like,
What is your aversion, sir? What's the issue?
It's like as soon as I do that, I was like, shit, man, did I just get a MacBook Pro? And like it's like right there, shit.
Right.
And like, well, let me check the time. Like, oh, it's an iPhone now.
Yeah, you get a free one with every podcast
I
that
hope
you
so.
submit.
Oh,
Are you opposed? Are you not an Apple
I
fan?
feel like once you enter that ecosystem of Apple products, you're like,
I'm there, dude.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
fold.
It's a
Yeah.
black hole,
I'm
dude.
totally there.
Seriously.
ah.
I got iPhone.
I went to go get a new phone, and I wanted to switch back over to Android. And the girl was like, you know, it's much harder to transfer your information.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, this
It's
is a great
impossible,
wall.
actually. You're going to lose everything that you've ever had in your life.
You
might
literally
lose
are
your
starting
parents.
anew.
And I'm like, fuck.
They're gonna leave you.
Yeah.
Apple will provide you with a new family. your circle of friends have been
Welcome
replaced.
to the Apple Witness Protection Program.
Did you guys hear they're coming out with an Apple car? There's going to be an iCar.
Dude, that's
by-
the next frontier for every company,
I
right?
know,
Like, it's
I know.
got to be, right?
But
Like,
it was funny looking at the. I think it was on last week tonight or something. But it looked like a giant iPhone with wheels on it. They showed like the outline of it, the drawing. But
Hell yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous,
Dude.
What is this?
it happens fast too. Like I did not have Apple products at all, and then I had I got an iPhone first, and then my wife got a MacBook Pro, and then I got an Apple Watch, and I'm just like I didn't even notice it happening, and now I look at it, and I'm just like.
Welcome to your Apple home.
Yeah, totally. Like last year for Christmas, my parents were like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was just like, "Man, I got this Roku box that doesn't talk to my phone. It's a real pain in the ass. Like I
Yeah.
gotta get it out of here. I need an Apple TV, Mom. You know, like."
Yeah.
And dude, it's brilliant, man. Just yesterday, let's get raw, real talk right now.
Okay, all right.
I'm upstairs. I'm sitting on the toilet, right? I'm just messing around on YouTube, and my daughter is downstairs, and she starts changing the TV station, like through the Apple TV, and I get a keyboard notification on my phone because you can use your phone as a remote for the
Yeah.
TV as long as you're on the
yeah.
same Wi-Fi network. So she starts searching things up, and I'm seeing it type out on my screen, and I immediately like hit backspace, and it takes it all back. And I typed in Taylor Swift video and hit enter because she hates Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift, enter. Click on the first one, which is like a playlist, and then she's just like, she sends me a text. She goes, "I think there's something wrong with the TV," and I was like, "Oh, really? What happened?" Like tried to play it off, And then it ended up basically she called me an asshole.
Oh, okay.
You discovered the true purpose of
fucking
technology.
with your kids. Yeah.
Trolling the shit out of your kids.
Yep.
I was going to say, that's a true purpose of parenting. Troll them until they're 18. And
Dude.
then release them into the world.
I'm not your parent.
I can't tell
Gotcha.
you how many times I've commented on Instagram posts or like just like spell check. That'll be my whole comment about like something she'll post or something like that.
Right.
It's like, and then there's every now and then I'll just be like, take this one down. Delete this now.
Nice. You're like a producer. Like, no, this is bad for your image.
Yeah, it's
Right.
real bad.
You
for your
represent
image.
me.
Get
so
it down.
You gotta stop this.
Get it down. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. This is not good for any of us.
Daddy wants a 4-bedroom home eventually, so you're gonna have to provide.
Yeah. Can you do 4 selfies a day instead of 12? That would be awesome. It's just 13, So
Oh, man.
That's
the
all they
gateway
want.
My
to-
sister just is turning 14 this year.
Yeah,
so
Social
man.
media galore.
Yeah.
Dude, we only let her do Instagram.
That's good.
Like, just to keep it in one place.
Does she have a Facebook?
No.
Okay, good.
No Facebook, no Twitter. Like, we just have Instagram going. And that forces her to, like, have something to say. You can't just go on there and rant. You have to have a photo to post. Or, you know what I mean? You have to have a reason. And so her Insta stories are kind of interesting, because it's like the quizzes. Like, do you think I'm cute? Yes or no? The surveys or whatever.
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
Jesus Christ, kid.
That was a great addition. Thank you, Instagram.
Yeah, right, dicks. But like to keep it in one place, it's an interesting way to like kind of teach a teenager how to use, social
Use
media.
technology and responsibly.
We had our feet wet for a bit. We weren't really raised in it, but like at least we spent enough time on social media. Like, how do I not incriminate myself completely?
Yeah,
But these kids are like, well, here's my life. All
Yeah.
right, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat.
It's crazy,
and
man.
Yeah. Broadcast.
Dude, you want to know how, like, if you want to see that, like, in a grand scale, just follow NFL players on Twitter. Any NFL player on Twitter. Like,
I'm pretty sure I can find out a
nothing good
lot.
comes from an NFL player being on Twitter, man.
Really?
But, like, a whole bunch of them get in trouble. Whole bunch
There's
of
like
them.
they actually
They're
have
just
control of their own
talking
Twitter
shit.
account.
Like,
It's-
Oh, yeah.
they beef with other players. They start drama. They talk about how it's not bad. Or like when Ray Rice hit his wife or whatever and dragged her into that elevator. And then there's like a handful of guys that are like, I'm in support of Ray Rice. And I'm like, you shouldn't be saying stuff on the computer, like on the internet. Like, what are you doing? Like, nothing good can come from this. Get the fuck off Twitter.
She didn't die, though.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
Jeez Louise.
it's crazy. Man.
Wow.
So, like, I made this, like, during the last election cycle, I made this, like, pact with myself. And, like, I don't post shit unless I think it'll get a chuckle. Like, my whole point is to use this for fun.
Right.
It's not my platform. I'm not trying to stand on my soapbox on social media, so I only post shit that I think is funny.
Yeah.
Or, like, as a bartender, there's some self-promotion that goes on. As a comic, there's self-promotion that goes on. But, dude, like, it got bad. I mean, I'm sure you guys had, people unfriend you or you unfriended people or whatever, like, in the last couple election cycles. Like, everybody's been in, kind of the same boat, right? Like, you find out that this person you thought was your friend is a fucking psychopath or, even if they agree with you, they still might be a psychopath, like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't be friends with you anymore. I haven't talked to you in 15 years anyways, so delete, like, it doesn't matter.
Whenever I get into a Facebook fight with somebody, it like completely takes over my mind. I'm thinking about it constantly because I'm waiting for their response, and
It's
I'm
a
like,
real problem.
"Oh yeah, well, fucking guess what?
Yeah.
That's bad times, man.
No, it gives me anxiety.
That's a real problem.
Yeah,
It's
I
legit,
went-
dude.
I
yeah.
went
I
ghost
got into
when
one
I-
yesterday.
When I got deployed, I deleted all my social media. I was just like, you know what? I don't want to focus on stuff. That was one of the things that me compartmentalized. Is like, I'm going overseas, so I don't want to think about stuff at home. So if it's something important, they'll reach out to me.
Right.
Then I found out nobody could reach out to me because they all use social media. Like, hey, my life's pretty good over here.
Right.
They come back and like everybody's like, I go on social media like, oh my god, like so many dumpster fires. I don't have enough buckets of water. What's going on here?
Dude.
Yeah.
So many
so
dumpster
gnarly.
fires.
Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Dude,
I
it's
don't know
crazy.
what happened.
You see people saying shit that, like, people shouldn't say to other people, like, let alone people they care
Well,
about,
it's
are
because
friends with, they love,
they-
whatever. It's like, it's such a weird, like, filter that people think exists when it's not. at all.
It's because like if Dave and I were to just have a fight, we're not really having a fight. We're just sending words across the internet, and then we'll just, I guess, exchange dirty glares at us if like we were to carry the fight past the internet, like the message. Like that's all it is. Like like if we were to have that talk, the person pretty sure wouldn't go the same way if we had a fight or something like that. I'd be like, oh, you know what? You're my friend. I'm pretty sure we can find some middle ground. But we use the internet as like this. How to be as toxic as possible.
Yeah,
everybody you know in 5 easy steps.
I'm surprised like we don't see more cars pull up in front of places and somebody get out and people just go to fists. You know, like why doesn't that happen all the
time?
There's
a YouTube channel for that, I'm sure.
That's true.
Well, I mean, you know, people,
if not, we should stop.
People get in actual like physical social media fights. You know,
it's crazy.
It's on World Star if you guys ever watch.
World Star.
There's a compilation. It's cool.
They used to have it on Vine.
Pepperonis. Hold on a second.
Are you serious?
I'm just gonna check the video, see if it's about to.
Oh, word. Where we at, baby?
It's crazy though.
Hour and 20.
We're already an hour and 20.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I feel like we just started.
I feel like we just started. Also,
dude, that's why like, you hear these guys going on for 3 hours on Rogan and shit. Like they don't even know.
Yeah, I know you can totally.
That makes total sense.
Honestly, like this is probably the most. I don't know. Like I'm not looking at the time or worried about it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I was just worried about it because I was running out of space in the car.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh, is it running out of space?
Yeah. I don't want to.
Don't delete it this time.
That's what I don't want to do.
You know,
I haven't uploaded yesterday's episode to the computer.
Does Tanya know that you deleted her episode?
Yeah, I made that post on Instagram. I'm sorry, I grandpa'd your video. Like completely just. I was like,
grandpa'd your video.
Control delete. And it's like fucking, it's gone for. I was like, no.
Right.
Because like it was breaking up into segments.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well let me just delete because it looked like it was just taking 1,000 pictures. Like, just delete this entire folder. That folder also had the segments of the video.
The whole, It happens, man. I used to have a dash cam on my car, like when I was an Uber driver.
Everyone should have a dash cam on
their
car.
Dude, I fully expected to like start a YouTube channel that was just like Russian road rage videos. You know?
They are very angry.
Dude, they are. And let me tell you, living in the greater Los Angeles area, driving Uber and Lyft for a whole year, I didn't see one road rage incident that was worth posting. So like, if people are like, well, we're the same, we're not fucking the same. Those dudes are crazy over there.
They're nuts.
Like,
I saw a lady get attacked by a bear in the middle of a street.
Dude.
Dead ass.
I'll watch the fuck out of some road rage videos. Yeah. That's crazy. But
you mind if we just take a pause right here so I can just check the...
Absolutely.
Whatever you do.
Pause right here.
It's your guys' show, man.
Break right here.
Do you mind? Is it okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, are you sure? And we're back!
And we're back. After 10 years of separation, I had still stayed in San Diego. David had relocated somewhere in Long Beach.
Yeah, I've made no advancements in life.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
This place is rad.
I like this place better.
This is a step up for sure.
Yeah, you can definitely not give away the location of this place now.
Yeah,
nobody do that. It's in Long Beach.
Did I do that last time?
We did it multiple times.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we are no longer across the street from Chinatown.
Okay.
Oh, right. But I saw there was a new Chinese place.
Oh, there you gone.
Nearby.
I don't have the name of that place.
Yeah.
But we'll plug them.
Okay.
Sponsored by that Chinese food place across the street.
Chinese food place?
That's perpetually across the street. As always.
You can't get away from it.
I hear it's really good, though.
No, it is really good. Aramis endorses it. He went over there and copped a bowl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The cool
$5.
No shit.
Get them while they're $5.
I walked in there. It was an Indian family running a Chinese restaurant. Dude, that's the best. That's how you know it's really? Californian. It's Californian if it's like not the people like authentic whatever. If they say it's authentic Chinese food, I'm like immediately kind of batting eye because it's probably like a like fucking regular Chinese fast food place.
They understand flavor.
But if you combine like two different flavors and it goes good the first time, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like fusion like Thai Japanese food because it's just literally make a spicy roll.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, sriracha and put some
Thai Japanese.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever.
You never seen that before? So you never been to like, not to mention places up and down the street of Anaheim.
Like they offer Thai food and maybe like rolls.
Like you have like a place that's like it's a sushi restaurant. And you go in there like in bibimbap box, and you're like, wait, what? No, that's the different.
Yeah,
that's not the same.
Hey, that's
and we have Patsy-U.
Yeah. It's like, wait,
it's hit or miss. Yeah, I went to this one place over in Fullerton. It was a Korean restaurant that did Japanese food, like legit, like they made it Korean, not like they're trying to pass it off as Japanese food, and it's different.
Yeah.
Like, they're not trying to pass it off as, like, Indian Chinese food, but it's definitely Chinese food with, like, an Indian hint to it. And you're like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
That's cool. I feel like that would work.
Yeah.
You know?
Somebody's trying to pass it off to me as authentic. Like, dude, this is why people think sushi, like, California rolls are sushi.
Right.
It's like,
right.
where's the avocado? Where's the mayo? Where's the crab stick, you know?
Well, I would argue that the idea that anything that we eat as far as, like, sushi in America is actually sushi at all.
Oh, yeah,
because,
no.
like, it's just, you know what I mean?
I really wish it was, like, Japanese sushi or
What
legit sushi.
I think did Ugly Delicious have, you guys watch that series?
No.
Okay, never mind. David Chang, dude. I don't like that guy. Personally, I don't like him. I think he kind of sucks. Like, he's really annoying to me. But he knows his shit, obviously.
Yeah.
And that whole series was amazing. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Ugly Delicious.
Despite his personality.
I've caught a couple episodes, like fractions of an episode or whatever. But it's funny because, like, if you just don't call it sushi, you just say, "Hey, we have food,"
Yeah.
then it's cool, right?
Right.
Like, it's like you go, like, you watch Top Chef or like Master Chef or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I made this kind of chicken with this side and a coulis. And it's like, well, it's hot, so it's not actually a coulis. It's like, and you get to, like, eliminated for that. And I'm like, you could have just been like raspberry sauce,
Right.
Yeah.
and you'd be in the finals. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's the
don't,
thing.
Don't give it a label. Like, don't call it something that it's not. But in an attempt to not worry about it, just don't call it a thing. Period. You know, just be like, hey, here's some delicious food.
Well, that
You
might
know?
be
Like,
due to, like, ignorance, but also, like, just not understanding that, you know, when you like, kind of pigeonhole yourself a little bit there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're like, this is this specifically,
totally.
like, it's a foam, like,
Yeah.
no, it's all melted, it's just liquid now,
Right,
Like, there's
dude,
no foam.
I don't know, dude. Everybody
You're-
wants to put a foam in, like, those shows. I don't think they teach you that in culinary school because nobody can fucking do it. They always fail, and I'm just like, dude, did everybody on this cooking competition miss foam day?
Right.
So they're turning different foods into foam? Is this what's going on?
No.
Like, am I missing out?
It's
some
like
food
a-
No, it's like
going
when
right
you
now?
put components of a dish together and you're on, like, a cooking show, like, and you say it's this specifically instead of, like, just a sauce or something like that.
Oh, like
It ends
creme
up-
brulee, but it didn't have that blowtorch. finish.
There you go. Like, you don't have the characteristics, or didn't have the characteristics of what
Yeah,
I
then
described it.
Yeah, if you say that, like, you have the reason to be upset. Like, this isn't what you told me it was.
Right.
Tastes good.
One
but-
of the okay, so I love watching Chopped, right?
Yeah. Oh,
This
let's
is-
get into Chopped. I'm
this
down with
one
this. I got a
fucking-
whole fucking theory about
This
Chopped.
you got a theory.
It's
Okay.
crazy.
Well, I don't like this guy. So one of the guys, he doesn't like fucking red onions, right?
One of the
You know who I'm
judges?
talking about?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, it's some white guy or something. He doesn't like He's
He's the
a
angry
beard.
one with the glasses.
He has a beard, and no, I don't think he
No.
wears glasses. Yeah,
Maybe.
actually, I think he has a red beard too.
It's
kinda-
possible.
Motherfucker. But he doesn't like red onions. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You don't have to like red onions. You don't have to like anything, but you're
Right.
judging food, not judging what you like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it has to be objective as possible.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy puts red onions in his dish, and he's like, fucking told you I don't like red onions, dude. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Denny's? Yeah. I'm
How
not
is
sure.
everything
Cook?
together?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Does it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can
And
you
then
appreciate the level of
yeah,
this?
and he gives, like, I'm like, that. I don't know why that irritated me so much, but I was like,
That doesn't seem fair at all.
it's not.
Shouldn't be a judge.
You're like, I don't like burgers. Like,
Good.
well, I fucking made a burger, dude. And it's
Yeah.
this round is about burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
if those guys came to me, like, I have dietary restrictions. Those guys came to me and were like, hey, we want you to judge this cooking competition. I'd be like, hey, I can't eat dairy, so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, unless
like,
we-
I'm just going to say no, I don't want to do it. Because, like, I don't want to be a dick and be like, nobody can cook with dairy. You know?
Unless
Like,
we have to stab an EpiPen into your throat because
Yeah.
you can't eat these fucking onions,
Right.
shut the fuck up and
Yeah.
eat the fucking onions.
Exactly. This is your job.
That's
You're
how I
getting
feel
paid
about
a
it.
ridiculous amount of money for eating somebody else's food. Now, the question that I have, the problem that I have with that show,
This is really happening. Go ahead.
you look at like these fucking guys, and I think it's like the judges like get boners for it, you know? Like it's like, oh, let's see how they mix Flamin' Hot Cheetos and rubber tire pellets. You know?
That sounds
Like,
interesting. I kind
you
of
know
want to
what
try
I mean?
that.
Like, yeah, it's
Kinda
like,
do.
And car coolant.
yeah, like, oh, the foam out of the car coolant is a travesty, you know? And they're all highbrow about it, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
This has a bad mouthfeel. I don't like how
Yeah.
this tire is fucking
yeah,
wrecking my taste buds.
exactly. It's crazy, and then like, and they make you feel all like they make the people feel stupid for not knowing that it takes it takes 40 minutes to reduce tire pellets, not 20. This is a 30-minute challenge. You should have known better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like, oh, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I have such a thing about food shows. I mean, maybe it's because I'm like forced to watch them all the time because my wife's a chef, and so like I'm constantly like walking into the living room and there's food shows on, which makes me just want to eat garbage food. You know, like I just want to like grab a tub of ice cream and not even grab a bowl and just like start eating ice cream out of there while I watch. You know, because it's jealousy, I guess.
Like if you could simulate what that food on the screen would be like with the food you have there, so I would just go like Jack in the Box, get that stoner box thing.
Oh right.
Where I was like all those mixed fries and shit. I'm like, and then I would watch them make like some kind of fancy ass salmon dish. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like transfer and whatever I'm eating right there.
Totally.
Tastes like $1 million bucks.
There's a dude that used to be on like chow.com called Super Taster, and he would go to like fast food places and try out new menu items. Or like Doritos would put out some new flavors, and he would like try out the new and it was like a really cool like review of like actual food that you're gonna run into.
Yeah,
and he would be like, and it wasn't like his rating system was very like, I wouldn't order this again. I'll probably eat this again at some point in my life,
right?
And this is delicious.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's very like,
system.
yeah, it's reasonable, right? Like,
so it's not like a Yelp review of like, oh man,
this
is
not like
3.2.
Yeah, peeky out like the notes of this. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you had those in a bowl at a party, would you grab one? You know, that's what I want to know. You know, like. I don't know, but it was pretty cool because, like you said, you want to be able to like taste with them, you know. Like,
yeah, it's kind of
the
like
McRib is back. Let's break down the McRib.
Oh,
like, hey, this
man.
motherfucker's gonna do McRibs. Let's go get a McRib. You know?
That's sick, yeah.
But I don't know.
I kind of miss just watching. Was it Good Eats? Is that still on?
Oh,
is
Good Eats.
he coming back with that?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, I haven't heard anything, but yeah,
Alton Brown was the shit, man.
he's still around. I mean,
I know he is, but he doesn't do it in the capacity where he's like, "Hey, this is my show." It's like I'm a judge. All right, cool. You didn't follow the basics. You know, like being a critique and being a critic and a judge. Yeah. I liked him better in the capacity where he was kind of like it was like Beekman's World except with cooking.
Yeah,
right.
Like, oh man, I could totally do that.
Yeah,
and I just learned something about science.
He was well, yeah. I was gonna say he was the Bill Nye of cooking, pretty much. But he also did actually try to like teach a little bit of the science behind the cooking.
Absolutely, man. And like when I talk to people, when people talk to me about being a bartender and like how I don't consider myself a mixologist, you know, because I'm not trying to invent.
Wait, is that a legit term?
Mixologist?
Yes.
No, it's a bullshit term.
Okay, good.
But people really do call themselves that. I have a huge problem with that term. Like anybody who says they're a mixologist, I hate automatically.
Right.
Like,
so you rap? No, I'm a lyricologist.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a
That's a
lyrical
fancy
ecologist.
word for I know how to rhyme some words, kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. No, I have a super hard time with it, and like people want to like come in and be like, "Oh, this guy's a real mixologist." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm a bartender. There's nothing wrong with being a bartender. You know, mixologist was invented to separate people who think they're better than other bartenders. You know, and it's just like, no, fuck you. You know, like mixologist means you mix all fluids. You don't mix all fluids, dude. Like you don't study mixing fluids. You study mixing alcohol. That's a very specific. You know, like. Yeah. And there's no test, so basically you're calling yourself that. You don't get to give yourself a nickname.
At one point, I thought
we just talked about that yesterday too.
You don't get to give yourself.
I thought it was just like maybe like a PC term. You know, like how you don't call servers waitresses anymore or something. like that.
Stewardess, airline.
Or you know what I mean? Like I thought maybe that was the deal.
No, man, dude, somebody started calling themselves mixologists to set themselves apart from the other bartenders, right? And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shitty bartenders out there, you know. But going back to Alton Brown thing, like that's kind of where like I go when people are like, "Oh, he's a real mixologist." I'm like, no, I'm just a bartender. What I want to be more like the Alton Brown of cocktails. Like I want to know where they came from. I want to know why they do what they do. I want to know the history and the fucking like, the technical shit behind it. I'm not trying to be like, let's make a smoky simple syrup and we'll infuse it with cardamom. And
see, I hear that shit and I'm just freaking out. Like, I don't care. I just want the thing I ordered.
Yeah.
But if you're to be like, hey, but like it started out like this, and not telling me like all the 52 different ingredients from whatever parts of the country it came from. Yeah. Like, I totally be more involved with like, cool, you know your shit, instead of like you just looked up a whole bunch of buzzwords and put them together in a sentence.
Exactly. And you can catch that. You can catch that 100%. You go into a place and they're like, "Oh, this tastes like grapefruit." It's like, no, dude, like. That's
well,
all
guys,
people give
I know
a fuck
it's.
about,
I know it's been probably about 10 years, right, since we recorded last with you.
Yeah, 10 give or take a month.
Well, we might have touched on this a little bit last time. I'm glad we're bringing it back.
I'm no fucking.
You are, dude.
I freak out about it equally as he does.
It makes
like,
me real mad.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm happy that we have Mr. Mountain back here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome back to the circle.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is like one of my favorite things to do right now.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Sit around
This
and hang out with
is
you guys.
the only thing I like about life right now.
Yeah. This is the only reason I wake up.
This and alcohol.
Yeah, dude. I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. I parked my car at the bar. I Ubered over here. I was like, maybe I'll have a shot real quick. No, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Turns out I have.
Yeah, you had a lot of time. I'm sorry.
Like 9+ years.
Yeah.
To like just.
We were just kind of on a spirit quest in between, like the second recording. It was like, found
Dude,
a lot
how
about
crazy
yourself.
would that be, right? Like if you guys had a podcast, and then everybody did like one of those like sweat lodge things.
Oh, like
and then like
yeah,
came
just-
back the next day.
What do you mean?
They pretty much like dehydrate the fuck out of you.
And get you high as
Yeah.
fuck on opiates.
Yeah, and you're just like, and they're like,
in-
okay, you
in
need to trip out
controlled
now.
environment, like in a teepee with fucking native like visionaries and whatnot, and then they like make you trip balls and then like come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, you like, and you hear about people doing it all the time. Like they'll go have like a sweat lodge and then they'll go like wander out into the wilderness at night.
Is it
Why would you
opiates
do
or like
that?
ayahuasca or is it
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Like some kind of,
idea,
like-
Is it like a
hallucinogen.
spiritual
yeah,
thing?
like
or-
a spiritual thing.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
could you imagine
Okay.
like if like 3 dudes like did a podcast, went and had a sweat lodge, came back the next day,
Dude.
and
Oh,
continued
fuck.
the podcast? That
I
would be
mean-
fucking-
the dudes that run that place I would say we would do that, but that requires a lot of investment. People that own a sweat lodge, please do a podcast because I
yeah,
really
somebody
wanna-
do it. I'm
I
not
wanna hear that
interested.
shit.
Like I understand there's like healing whatever in
Yeah.
ayahuasca. I'm not interested in ayahuasca at all or anything along those lines.
My mom
Like-
did ayahuasca.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, no, not now.
She's like,
vomiting it
She's
out
like-
right now.
She keeps calling me right now. I don't know
What I
why.
have for breakfast?
I hope she's okay.
She doesn't have a sober person there to like help her distinguish reality between.
Oh, man, my mom's
hallucination.
about that shit. She does ayahuasca. I'm probably shouldn't be putting her on blast.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, no, she believes in like the healing properties.
Yeah. No, it's real.
Like
When I
mushrooms.
was a Uber driver years back, there was a couple that I picked up at UCLA that were finishing up their doctorates there.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about moving to Peru after they graduated, and they were going to study the medical, like the medical advantages to hallucinogenics.
Wow.
It's really interesting that like somebody who spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on an education is like, oh, we're going to move to Peru and do mushrooms.
That sounds like
Yeah.
something. That sounds like something people would do. Like, okay, I'm just gonna go to a foreign country, take a whole bunch of Instagram pictures, come back just fucking broke,
That's true.
or like live there.
That's true. But there is that theory, right? Like the stoned ape theory, like that people talk about, like that like mushrooms actually are like the key to our evolution. You know, like
I've never heard that.
yeah. This is bro science because I don't really know what I'm talking about.
This is officially the Joe Rogan experience. Yeah.
I think that's where I heard about it. But
Bro
there's like
science.
apparently there's some theory that like apes or whatever primate we descended from or evolved from got a hold of some mushrooms and that unlocked some key in their brain that allowed them to evolve faster than everything else.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I would accept that. That's not anything crazier than I might have heard about anything
Yeah.
in history.
Yeah.
Or religion, for that matter.
I remember like I had a teacher like in like junior high or whatever talk about evolution. He's like basically the theory of, like evolution is like if you take all the pieces of a watch, you know, individually, like a very complex watch, and you put them in a shoebox, and then you just shake it until the watch works. Like that's what evolution is.
That's actually a pretty good analogy.
And I was
that.
like, whoa! Like that totally caught me. I was like, that's totally how I've looked at evolution ever since then. You know, so
Yeah.
like the amount of time that it would take to all that happen, and then of course, you know, like the Joe Rogan thing came up, and I was like, oh, that makes way more sense actually than taking a watch. And a
Well,
watch.
I've heard studies on people with PTSD taking MDMA in order to like completely like, remap their brains and how they would deal with experiences. So they come out of it like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I no longer have that feeling that I'm constantly under duress or anything like that. But like they understand that kind of like again like bro science again because I'm quoting Joe Rogan.
I was just gonna say that.
They had that feeling of like that feeling when they're young, kind of like nostalgia combined with like a sense of belonging.
Mhm.
So that warmth, and it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Like that could do that, and then some. Obviously, it's clinical trials. It's not anything that's
Right.
out in the streets or anything. But not
Right,
saying
well, that's
not
something
for
we should-
or against. I have no stance on use, but that's
course.
apparently what's happening with it.
Yeah.
People just remapping their brains and shit with MDMA.
Wow.
Yeah, the mushrooms, everything.
Yeah.
It creates new synapses in your brain that
That's so nuts.
you originally did not have,
Yeah.
and causes you to have viewed everything differently. Everything.
Well, that's like a real thing.
That's a real
That's
thing.
not bro science. That's science.
Like I can imagine.
Bro science.
Speaking of bro sense, I can just imagine the next evolutionary step is just everybody, all of us, getting into jiu-jitsu, eating keto,
Right.
and just
I
fucking
want no part of that. By the way, I just want
You don't want to do that? Move into the woods with us? Just fucking.
yeah, just hunt elk, man.
We'll just hunt elk, dude.
Hunt elk?
Yeah. What's the problem?
I was on the wrestling team in high school.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do that again. That was not fun.
Wait, what? Is that?
Yeah, I would never. I don't want to do jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
Like, it's not fun to me.
Oh, I'm still on the woods thing. I thought we were doing that, but yeah.
Well, you can't have one without the other.
That's true. Like when you counter a bear, you're not going to overpower it. You got to perform like a fucking
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kimura
yeah.
on it. And
Exactly.
just lock it out. Yeah.
Choke it out for sure.
You gotta lock that leg.
Yeah. You just fucking choke
The
hold
leg
it,
the
triangle
size of
choking
a fucking tree trunk, like you're just hugging onto. Like,
Could you imagine being the bear in that situation? Like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. Hey, wait, what happened?
Yeah,
What's
like-
going on? Hey, I can't breathe. Fuck.
Oh, my elbow. My elbow.
God,
No.
how'd this guy get?
Bear's
me?
just
Look
like-
how little he is.
you guys ever see that movie, Grizzly Man? You ever see that?
No.
This guy like goes out in the woods and like he knows where bears are in like the California woods. And he goes out there and he just like interacts with them and he records himself doing it. And spoiler alert, he gets mauled with his girlfriend.
Of course.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
That's
and
what happens
it's
when you fuck with
recorded.
bears.
It's audio at the very least is recorded of their deaths, and it's fucking terrifying. And
Damn.
I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like like every single time he goes out there, he did it for like maybe he did it every summer. So he would go out there. Probably he did it 6 times, and this was going to be his last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his fucking
That's
last
a
time.
real Danny Glover Lethal Weapon
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, seriously.
I got one more summer before I'm done with this shit.
But like after watching that movie, and then like, I mean, they didn't. No, they did put the audio on there. So at the end, they play the audio,
Lord.
and it's fucking terrifying. So that is a phobia. I mean, that should be everybody's fucking phobia.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
getting mauled by a
Bears,
300-pound, 400-pound bear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's horrific, dude.
I can't imagine.
And you're sitting there. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to happen at the end. By the way,
Yeah. I've been
my
in a
friend
campsite.
recommended. He was like, "You'll see. Watch it all the way." I was like, "Fuck."
Next time you see him, you just sock him in the face. You motherfucker.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He's going to haunt my dreams forever.
Like sharks and now bears, dude.
Yeah, right.
Like,
the sharks is a whole different episode. I can't
Yeah.
get into sharks.
Yeah.
I used to live in a beach town that
Oh.
was like had like this like real like conservativist idea, conservative.
Save everything in the
save
food
the
chain.
world.
Conservationist.
Conservation,
Yeah, very conservation minded. And they started like this seal rookery where like the seals could be safe and come breed. And now all of a sudden, like one of the safest swimming beaches in California is
shark
infested with
infested.
sharks.
Yeah.
And they're
Wow.
like, I don't know what's going on. It must be the waters. It must be the temperatures, the global warming, and this. And I'm like, you made a McDonald's.
Yeah. You
For
literally
the
create
sharks next to where your kids swim.
yeah.
like on the food chain, a shark would probably eat a seal.
Yeah.
So that's like the most tastiest thing to it. It's like
Yeah.
I could eat like a whole bunch of tuna, or I could eat that big old Big Mac that's floating around.
Dude,
you
and
fattened
that
up.
seal is probably something that they've been hunting for longer than anything else, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a
you're in
very
a situation
fatty
where it's
animal.
like they know how to fucking get them. Have you guys watched killer whales try and kill something, dude?
Yeah.
Do they just body slam shit?
Dude, no, they're super calculating.
Oh, and I'm sorry,
Like,
killer
Yeah,
whales are
they-
more like
I watched. Well, I love shit like this. Like
yeah,
I have.
killer whales are the shit. By the way, that's my favorite animal on the planet. No
I have
question.
the what is that?
They're the best.
The open ocean, the one that's it's like narrated by David Attenborough.
Oh, I haven't.
Fuck, what is it called?
Shark
Anyways,
Week.
Is it Planet Earth?
no, it's not Planet. It's specifically just about the sea. So
Oh,
different
yeah.
aspects of the sea, deep sea, open
Yeah.
oceans.
I
Shit
forget what
like
that's
that.
called. It was a Discovery Channel something series.
Probably.
Whoever.
Yeah.
Some
Anyways,
nerd company.
it's great, and I love shit like that.
Yeah.
But I recently watched on it was on Hulu. They had another one. It's like the second version of it.
Yeah.
And these fucking killer whales followed these. I don't know if they're blue whales or what they were. I don't know, but they were following this prey for like a good 30 miles.
Yeah.
And they waited until they got tired. And it's like a
And they
team
pack
of them,
attack them,
and
yeah.
they're like he said, they're super fucking calculated, dude.
Yeah.
Like they have, I mean, they're fucking killer whales. That's-
Dude,
Yeah.
and they're more emotional than humans.
I saw Free Willy, dude. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What's it called? Oh, did they cover that in Free Willy?
Dude, are you serious?
I don't know. I'm just as much older than you guys, so like Free Willy was like, hey, look at this cute whale movie. I'm like, I'm trying to meet girls. You know? I don't give a shit about whales, you know?
Yeah.
No, you're a little bit older.
Yeah. So my brother watched Free Willy. He was like, "Oh, can we watch Free Willy?" I'm like, "That stupid whale movie." Like, literally never watched it. You know, like I feel super bad for talking shit about Free Willy.
That's fine.
It's all right, man.
Every time I think about that movie now, I think about the Simpsons spoof on it, where at the end, like Free Willy jumps over the barrier to get out into the open ocean,
lands on
and he
the
actually
boy.
lands on the kid.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's what I remember of it now. That's not even part of the movie.
Yeah. See, that's
it's an easier way to remember the movie, though. So
Yeah.
way more appropriate for your brain style too. Right?
Thank you,
Like
Simpsons.
your sense of humor. Yeah.
You've shaped me as well.
Dude, I watched some killer whale thing where there was like a seal that was like on a piece of wood or something that was like floating.
Yeah.
And like they came up trying to catch him and he was like escaping, you know, and he was good until like another killer whale came up and like rammed the corner of the wood
What?
to create like a slide.
Yeah.
And no joke, like you see no killer
Slid
whales.
into
He
its-
thinks he's safe. He's on this thing. The thing gets popped up, and all of a sudden he starts sliding down. No joke.
Another
like a
killer
fucking-
wheel.
There's a killer whale with the mouth open, just
Waiting.
waiting. Just
That's like a
boom.
fucking shark movie.
Yeah,
That's like a
it's
shark horror movie.
crazy,
Like,
dude.
oh,
It's
I don't sense
crazy.
any sharks, and like a little tilt and just lands in the shark's mouth. No
Yeah.
chewing required.
Yeah. Also, there's quite a problem with beached killer whales in some like communities because like if the seals think they can get out of the water, and if it's deep enough, the killer whale will keep going towards shore, and if the shelf is like steep enough, he'll fucking
Beach
grab
himself.
him out of the surf.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. There's a bunch of images of that.
How big are killer whales like relative to like sharks?
They're like the size of.
Like the-
Well, it depends what kind of shark, right?
let's say like a hammerhead
Like-
shark, when you probably not be afraid of.
I
Kind of
don't
see
know.
that in the ocean.
I will.
Like how long do you
Search
think
it
it
up,
is?
Dave.
How long do you
Let's
think it
find
is? Yeah.
Well, a killer whale is like what, like 30 feet, right? Like it's the size of a car,
Jesus.
plus length, right? Because of the tail and whatnot.
So you have like a car coming out of the ocean eating seals.
I think a killer whale is like
So
larger than a great white.
Oh, this
I
is
think.
the weight.
Personally, that's just my.
How heavy
my
are those
guesstimate.
things?
They're gigantor, dude. Like,
And there's a team of them. That's like a
Gigantor.
team of
yeah,
linebackers.
and all sizes too, right? Because they travel with their families. They're
Yeah.
familial animals, right? So you still have like pups with them and
The
shit.
largest male killer whale on record is 32 feet,
Yeah. So
Oh my god.
weighing 10 tons.
That's like that's like what an
Largest
astrovan
female
coming at you.
was 28 feet, so anywhere between that. Like that's like
20.
the largest.
What was 28 feet?
the females?
Oh,
Females a
like
little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's like a what do you say, like a sedan or like a minivan coming at you? Maybe
Plus length, right?
Plus length.
Like that's the thing. You got to look at it like
I'm just
I don't
imagining
know,
like
man.
stretch limos just coming out at fucking eating seals and shit.
flying out of the ocean.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're all
Well,
coordinated.
Animate that. Somebody in your listenership
Yeah.
animate.
well, they're still
limousines flying out.
in
of
a
the
way
ocean.
they're still kind of dwarfed by blue whales because like Jesus Christ. Those
Yeah,
things are
totally. But
fucking
they're
massive.
so docile, right?
The blue whales
Ab-
and-
absolutely, yeah. I
Really,
mean,
just floating
I mean,
islands.
they don't even really have teeth. They just have
They don't do shit.
filter
Yeah,
things.
yeah, that's-
Oh, they got the krill filters that just
Yeah.
kind of
That's all they do.
That'd be a
it's-
cool way to live, though, man.
just driving by eating at the same time.
Just constantly eating. Just
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, let's go to San Francisco for the weekend. You want to stop? Nah, just
Nah.
open your mouth. This time we get some food? No, just say ah.
Damn.
yeah, that's true.
That'd be like if we like just get on a motorcycle and like, because I mean, eventually we're gonna get to the point where we're eating bugs, right? Like we have to, right?
What?
Maybe?
Like-
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, there's like
Not my lifetime, buddy.
there is a lot more bugs than there are like produce and
It's
everything.
a way more sustainable food source for humans because the amount of protein packed in one bug is like more than in one steak, and we're killing the earth, like or whatever. If however
Right,
you
and
believe.
there's
I'm not trying
billions
to
upon
influence.
billions upon trillions.
But like,
of
yeah,
bugs.
the farming, the factory farming idea, and like the way that we blaze through things for these cows, and it's like, wait, but we're not even getting as much protein as we can get eating grasshoppers.
True.
You know what I mean? Grasshoppers could give us way more protein for way less effort, for way less time. You know what I mean?
You just have to get over the whole thought of it, really,
Yeah,
because
it's
like
just a social stigma, really.
I
Well, I mean,
Because,
even that.
like a lot of cultures
If
already.
we, I mean, I'm sure we have the technology to do this, but given the opportunity, we could form it into something else where it kind of
Grasshopper
represents
burger.
Yeah, like
tacos.
it resembles something that we're used to, or even give it the texture that
You could probably do it like
I think the texture is
Western
number
people
one.
would
with
be
the
able
bugs.
to-
I think people would be way down with bugs if it was
Yeah.
on a texture thing. Because you know what are bugs? Lobsters, crabs, shrimp. those
Yeah,
are bugs,
the shells.
Dude.
Exactly.
Eat the fuck out of those things.
Yeah, my
you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
one of my friends would call shrimp like sea bugs, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking about like, yeah, they are fucking sea
Yeah,
bugs. And like
totally.
lobsters are the roaches of the sea.
dude.
I mean, just look at a crab. It's a giant spider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're delicious.
They're
You're right. You know what? I would give spiders a chance.
Not a huge
Yeah.
fan of crab myself, unless it's in a cake.
Crab cake.
Oh,
it's
crab
like
cake's
it's
the
like
shit.
40% a dish like crab. Oh, I'm thinking imitation crab. You're right now. Crab cake.
So, and wait, I feel like we've talked about this too. What is imitation crab? What is that?
That's like fish.
Is it soy?
It's wheat and rice flour
Okay.
with some sugar and then some food coloring. May or may not even have fish in it at all.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not know.
I assumed it was. Yeah, it wasn't. So,
yeah. It's like flour.
okay, good to know.
Wow.
California roll.
Yeah.
Hey
what-
man,
I
I
hate
don't
those.
pretend. I don't pretend to be eating sushi
Yeah.
when I go get like any kind of a roll. But like, if I find a roll that tastes good, I just eat it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give.
No,
a
that's
fuck,
true.
Like if it's sushi or not. Like,
I think,
No,
like-
just throw more sauce on that bitch. I want to
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I think the most legit sushi roll you can get is like a tuna roll. That's like pretty basic.
Right.
But you do it right, it's pretty good.
But
One of my
dude,
favorite
I had a
rolls.
buddy who's a sushi chef. He says tuna's not sustainable.
No, not in the
Tuna
way
as a
not in the way we're
species
eating
is
it.
not
No,
sustainable.
Oh,
God,
not
no.
at all.
So like, if anybody who's like PETA this or I'm this or Save the Earth this, and then they're like, oh, let me get the seared ahi tuna, like, no, fuck you, like, fuck you, you're killing the Earth faster,
Right.
Even though you're trying to yell at me about wearing leather shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck you, you know.
In order to take a stance on that, because it's really like I feel like being like some people are on a moral pedestal for being vegan or being like a conservation, not having the overall scope of things.
Yeah.
Indirectly, like wearing leather shoes, cool. There was a cow. Yes, there's an industry behind it, but overall, like when you get that seared ahi tuna and you have people like skimming the ocean with giant nets, and they're like,
Yeah.
and it leaves you with like nothing to sustain the ocean. Where they're like, what's worse?
Yeah.
Like, and their idea, wearing the skin of something, probably.
Yeah, totally.
Or like, I don't know exactly which free range
weird.
animal this was.
I don't know why when you just said wearing the skin of something, I imagined somebody wearing like
Oh, no.
skin. I don't know why.
Like another
That
person's
just
Yeah.
went into my head for some reason.
I would totally be
Silence of
against
the
that
Lambs
for
kind of
sure. Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, is that what happened in the movie? I never saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a mask made of like different people's flesh.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just one person. Was it
It was
just
gnarly,
multiple?
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit came out in the 90s, too.
Yeah.
I know.
Fuck, dude.
Jodie Foster like went to the jail and like this inmate threw like semen in her face, just like, and she was like walking through.
Did that happen?
Yeah. She went
Like
to
when
go.
they're filming?
No, it was one of the scenes.
Oh, it's part of the movie.
Yeah, yeah, okay, we
I
all
was
need to
like,
revisit
oh,
Sounds
she's
of
doing
Blood.
research. She got all this stuff thrown at her. I'm like, whoa.
I was allowed to
It's like-
watch that.
for
I was
like
like
a-
10 years old. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you probably never knew. Like, was like, why do you throw like it's like fucking gag?
just-
Is that gag in her face?
Yeah. Gag.
Yeah, it made a funny noise. She responded like
Slime that he's throwing in
yeah.
her face?
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, that was a crazy movie though.
I never saw it, yeah.
Wow.
I was never into horror movies, man. Like, my uncle made masks, right?
That's like creepy living.
like
I'm just gonna tell
professional?
you
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Like,
Oh,
they were
seriously?
used in movies and stuff, or like, you know, whatever. And so they're very lifelike. And when we go to his house before we could go into his shop where he was always hanging out, because he used to like
mask
have all
shop.
the crazy anime videos from Japan. This is like 86, 85. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like, really, like, had to have like a black market hookup to get this shit like into the country. And he would stop us at the door and be like, okay, like I'm 85, I'm 5 years old. I go to my uncle's house. He stops at the door and he goes, here's what I'm working on. I'm working on this mask for this movie. I'm working on this mask for this movie and this mask for this movie. This one looks like he has bugs crawling out of his forehead. This one has blood all over it. And this one is really shiny because it's going to be wet in the movie. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. And then we walk in and we see these latex masks and they're so lifelike. They would, like, if you didn't have that, like, precursor, you would totally,
Freak
it would
the fuck
fuck
out.
you up. Yeah,
Oh my
like, it
God.
would totally haunt your dreams. And so, like, it completely ruined any kind of horror suspense movies for me because I was just like, anytime I watch a movie with blood, I'm like, how'd they get that shot?
Right,
Where'd
right,
that blood
right.
come from? I'm
Industry
always
secret,
dissecting
yeah.
it. Yeah. So like I have to just skip it. Like so when Silence of the Lambs came out and it was like everybody was talking about it, I was just like, man, it's not my kind. I'm gonna go watch Encino Man.
It's not really a
Yeah.
horror movie.
Hell
though.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's more
It's like a thriller.
totally.
Yeah.
But like, if a young mind could misconstrue that, I did. I definitely
Right,
did.
right.
I was like, oh, is that a scary-ish kind of movie? Fuck it, I don't want to watch it. You know?
Yeah,
Like, it's
I
just
think
a
the
waste
less
of time.
that people know about how movies are made that way. You know, like the art that goes into it when you're making a piece or you're making a set. It does take away from it for sure, but also like horror movies kind of been in a slump, man. There hasn't been really any good ones that have, because I like horror movies personally. So,
So, would you consider like all these gore movies that are coming out horror movies, or they're just like
which ones?
Okay, they're at Saw 8 now. Saw 7, Saw 8.
Oh yeah, the Jigsaw. Yeah, so that went straight to streaming because that's already available. Garbage, and I started to watch it, and it is garbage.
Yeah, anything goes straight to streaming. You can just
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's still horror, but that's also still kind of a thriller because like horror for me is like, you know, something paranormal. You know, not like this gory stuff. I think it's creating this atmosphere that you feel like you might, you know, be attacked at any moment. You know, like that. For me, that's the vibe of a horror movie. So I would say the last horror movie that I actually was like impressed by was it's already like they're on like the fourth one already and shit. Oh fuck! What is it called?
Paranormal Activity.
Insidious.
Like
Insidious.
Yeah, that was probably the one that was most interesting to me because of the music specifically. Not new concepts or ideas at all.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that, but I would say that the acting was good and the music really fucking worked. It was crazy to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
crazy, man.
Yeah, I was never really into horror movies. I saw Candyman like at 4 or 5 years old, and I kind of just like, yep, I'm fucked now.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch any more. That dude's covered in honey and bees.
No, I don't.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, it had a lot of like, okay, dude gets like hung up and like beaten to death and covered in honey and bees. And like, oh my god, like this is like there's a lot of horror concepts in here right now.
Yeah.
Then you like they Bloody Married him back too, so it's like whoa.
They Bloody Married him back.
Yeah, you just say his name just like Bloody Mary. He's like bam, he's there.
Another one was Sinister.
Sinister.
It had Ethan Hawke in it. Came out 2012.
Okay, best Ethan Hawke movie.
What?
What is your favorite Ethan Hawke movie?
Training Day, nigga.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm not a huge Ethan Hawke fan, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think I've seen enough of his movies to really like,
I don't think
make
I have
that.
either.
What are you asking me for then?
I'm not really sure.
I thought maybe you had one in mind. I was gonna be like,
well, I mean, he was in Training Day and Blade, right? Those are the only two movies.
Gattaca.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, Gattaca was good.
That's a good one. Wait, was he in Equilibrium? No, that's Christian Bale, right?
I never saw Equilibrium.
Yeah, I was confused.
I'm over here like.
What's this question?
I'm over here spitting game for no reason.
I was just throwing shit out.
Sorry, dude.
That's all right.
So he was in Insidious, and what was the other one?
No, he wasn't in Insidious. He was in this other one called Sinister. But
Sinister. Yeah.
That one was only creepy to me because there was like the scene where there's like randomly just a scorpion appears in his base. Dude, right?
What?
Like a scorpion just he's like, oh, what the fuck? And then he just like was like, okay, you're throwing bugs out now. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
So I feel like we have like
Sharknado.
a overall kind of thing. You have a fear of bugs if you saw it in a horror movie?
No,
I think it's just me and him now.
I don't have a fear of bugs.
That's the thing too. Like it's not general. Like I'm not scared of every bug.
I'll even count centipedes, the human types of centipedes.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm very terrified of this.
Yeah. So,
dude, you know, I'm one of those people that like if you watch a movie about spiders and then like all of a sudden you get,
arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. Yeah, you're just like, oh god, something itches on my skin. Oh, the spiders everywhere getting me. You know what I mean? Like I work with a guy who recently had a bit of
scabies.
No, it wasn't nearly as scary, actually, but it looked bad. Like he had an infection, like an eye infection that's being treated. It was like blah blah blah. But like every time he would get close to me, I would be like, ugh. And then like every time you close your eye and like you get a little eyelash thing, you're like, oh my god, I got it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, I didn't even touch the guy, look at it. You know what I mean? Just from looking, I felt like every time he looked at me, like he was like being actively and aggressively contagious towards me, you know? And it was like super unreasonable for me to think that way. Like I understand that's not how science works. That's not how diseases work.
I mean, kind of.
But dude, and so like, I went to go leave one day, and he was like, went to go shake my hand. I was like, get the fuck out of here with your eye herpes. I want to talk to you. Like, don't touch me.
That's fucked up.
I couldn't help it. I said it straight in his face. He's
eye herpes?
Yeah, and he did. He said the same thing. He's like, that's fucked up.
I recently
eye herpes are fucked up, dude. Like that shit's scary.
Eye herpes. I recently rewatched Arachnophobia, and
Really?
it's not as bad
No.
as I used to think it was.
I thought Tremors
It's
was
more
really
like-
scary too.
It's more like
Yeah.
campy, right? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like even some of the spiders that they use, like the mother spider, the one that like kind of started it all.
yeah, patient zero.
It just looks like this little like puppet. Just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's all right.
You want to make a horror movie? Make a horror movie about brain aneurysms. That shit is terrifying.
Oh my god.
No, that's actually true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because it's
there's
like it just happens randomly.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no rhyme or
There's
reason
no
for it
precursor.
at all.
There's no fucking
Yeah.
like warning signs. There's no like. There's nothing you could do while it's happening.
You would
like,
have to just
like,
randomly get a CT scan and just be like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, this might happen to
Yeah,
you."
your
We
brain
don't
could
know
totally
how to
explode
help
any
you
second.
prevent this.
That doesn't even need to be a horror movie. That could just be a real movie. You just film a regular movie, and then like 25 minutes in, the main character just fucking dies.
Yeah,
You're like, what happened? What was brain aneurysm?
just pop.
It's just gone. And then like that ends that scenario and just moved on to another movie. It's like, oh, this is like you just got involved with all these characters.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. Just
Yeah.
like, okay, their story
The
ends
end.
there.
Yeah.
Start another one, and then like maybe 2 minutes into it, like it's like ramping up.
Because that's
Brain
more
aneurysm.
real than
Yeah.
what we see in real movies. That's really how it goes.
Yeah, because
You know
then
what I'm
You
saying?
guys
Like-
probably aren't like Shyamalan fans. I mean, I'm not.
Oh
But,
my God, no.
dude,
What?
The Happening is
M.
so
Night Shyamalan?
hilarious, dude. That movie the entire time, dude.
Which one was
Marky
the
Mark is funny, dude. That guy's funny.
Really, I haven't seen it.
okay, is the
sorry,
happening?
I'm the only
Is
one
the
who
happening
thinks-
the one with the swing away bullshit?
Yeah, where everybody's just
Or was
starts
that Signs?
killing-
That was Signs.
They start killing themselves
Oh,
because
the trailers for that were weird.
Trees are
Yeah.
emitting some type of like spore.
It's
that's
like a
causing
self-
people's brains to tell them to kill.
It was like an
themselves
Earth's
somehow.
response
It's
to the
so
human
good.
infection. So they're like, all right, let me use these antennas we got, like trees. All right, cool. Let's get rid of the humans. It's like an antibody response. So it's just making them like fucking. If you watch the trailers, you're just like, what is this movie? There's like people en masse jumping off of buildings. Like I was like, hi, and like just having a normal conversation. Dead stop, walking to a train.
Right.
Wow,
I'm like,
that's kind of interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the great part about it,
Concept
with
is-
any Mark Wahlberg movie where he's the hero's like, we gotta get out of here, and he's like leading a pack of people to safety. Transformers, fucking
That's the
The
thing.
Happening.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
Shyamalan, like, he has interesting ideas. It's just the execution is very poor a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And sometimes the ideas are really bad. So
Oh, really?
Name 5 bad ideas M. Night Shyamalan
The
had.
Village.
Okay, 1.
What else does he have?
You can just name all the movies. I would count them.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen any of
Yeah.
them.
The one about that girl that came out of the water, that pool.
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the water.
Yes.
Name
That
of
one.
the
The lady in the liquid, I think it was
You know-
called.
Yeah.
Is that what it?
lady in the body of water.
Right, yeah. That's all I got right now. I think those are
That-
the only ones that I've ever seen. That and The Happening.
Yeah, I guess like M. Night Shyamalan movies, just the titles.
Wait,
alone
wasn't
make
he
me-
the I See Dead People person?
Yeah, the Sixth
Oh,
Sense.
yeah, he's
Sixth
the-
Sense.
the
Sixth
Sense.
Sense,
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
That was his too,
Never
right?
seen that one.
I haven't seen
That's
it either.
the only one that I think I've seen.
Really?
Yeah, and it's essentially Bruce Willis, because apparently they're homies.
Yeah.
They're boys.
Yeah, and he gets in he's on a train and the train derails and a bunch of people die,
Except him.
and he is at the hospital and they're like, you're fine, and he has no vitals. They can't get a heartbeat. They can't get a temperature.
Dude, is that like the prequel to fucking Sixth Sense then? Because he's a fucking. I'm gonna spoil it now. He's a fucking.
Ah!
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
like,
so I don't know.
is that what's going on? I don't know which movie came first. I don't.
But okay, so
I think no.
maybe we're finding out right now that M. Night Shyamalan's entire film career
in the
is
same
like
universe.
Battlestar Galactica, in that the TV series, in that if you don't like one of them, you still have to watch the other ones in order to understand them. And then everybody's like, oh no, you gotta watch all the movies. Instead of you're like, no, I watched 3 episodes, I'm not into it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you gotta watch the whole series.
Right, that's the thing, though.
7 seasons.
Yeah.
of
I thought you were gonna say M. Night
Game of
Shyamalan
Thrones,
was a Cylon. I'm like, that makes sense.
Oh.
Thanks.
that's the robot people, right?
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
Somebody's a Cylon.
I couldn't get into it, man.
Come on, man.
Dude, that's the only reason I watched Battlestar Galactica. Like, who the fuck is a Cylon? Where are these Cylons coming from? What do they look like?
Yeah, that's
when
part of
are
it.
they gonna fuck up more of the Battlestar or more of the Galactica?
Dude, I don't. I haven't watched the show or the movie.
Oh, okay,
or
okay.
any of that shit, so I'm not sure. But I do think that everybody knows some people that may or may not be robots.
That makes sense. The whole Zuckerberg meme thing where he's just like, his reactions were like not even on the spectrum, just like, this is robotic.
Right.
Just like,
Yeah.
and then something Dead Gibbons says, I remember being a human. I mean, I am human. I'm like, what?
Yeah. There's a glitch in the Matrix
Yeah.
right there, yeah.
Just drinking water, and just, that's not how people drink water, even if they're uncomfortable. Like, that's like, no.
Nikki randomly dropped a little stat for me the other day, and she was like, 1 in 25 people are sociopaths. And I was like,
I know way more than 25 people.
I know. But then she was like, well,
I only know 24 people.
Who in our friend group is a sociopath? And then like they kind of pinpointed. I'm not going to call them out.
Yeah, but
I kind of feel bad, and he
Yeah.
might listen to this. But I was like, no,
it's
you're
crazy to think
absolutely
about.
right. It's
Yeah.
like it just makes sense.
yeah.
So now I start looking around. I'm like, wait, who else?
Yeah, like Ari
You know what I
Shaffir
mean?
does a
Who
bit
seems
about
like they're
that.
pretending to have feelings right now?
Well, see, that's the
Like
thing.
they're just emulating.
Yeah. No, Ari Shaffir talks about it. He's like 1 in 4 people have herpes.
It's facts,
That means one of the Beatles had herpes.
especially in Long Beach.
I would just say all 4 of the Beatles had herpes.
Probably.
Yeah, it's that's a pretty good
And,
statistic.
like he starts his bit out like that, and he's like, "We're standing in a room full of people." Like
John
at a comedy
definitely
club.
did.
He's like, "I don't have herpes,
Yeah.
but a lot of you have herpes." like a lot, you know.
Like a lot.
It's crazy to think about that kind of shit. Cancer too, right? They say like 1 in 4 people are going to be diagnosed with cancer. You know, and it's just like, fuck, dude. Like you start thinking about it like that, you know. Like,
Well, that's
who do I
definitely
know,
all
you
3
know?
of us. So, I mean,
Yeah.
You should just get more people in the room to reduce our risk.
There we go. Hey, there's a
cool.
whole bunch more of us.
Yeah, we're good. We're
Give it
good.
to one of these fuckers.
Yeah.
Also, we have a cat, so that
Dude. The animal thing, that's been a real interesting thing to watch. It's like people like I have friends that struggle financially, like in life,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I have to get chemotherapy for my dog."
Oh man.
I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, and it's real expensive. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna cost
It's because
it's gonna cost me like $9,000, and it's not covered on my insurance.
Dude.
Obviously. And I'm like, what the fuck? You are having a hard time feeding your kids. Why are you getting your dog chemotherapy?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
that is
I got such a thing.
I mean, if it was my dog, I might be a little bit more inclined. But a cat, like,
yeah, fuck cats. I'm
She-
with you. Let's do
no, but she was no, not like fuck cat. Like, I don't want any animal to suffer or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that, of course. But one of the windows was open and like the screen is fucked, so like she was able to like kind of climb out there and poke her head out. Went to go grab her and she flipped out and fell out.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Like she's
Yeah.
never been outside before.
Yeah.
So for a half second, I debated whether or not I should really go out there and do anything about it.
what?
I was like, you went out, you come back in,
Yeah.
figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to be out there so goddamn bad.
Yeah, but
You got it good in
imagine
here, baby.
Her tiny little skull getting crushed in her car. You're like, I'm a dick.
I knew.
Yeah.
I thought immediately she was gonna go straight for the street. I was
Yeah.
like, that's it, right there.
Yeah.
And then later on, Nikki was like, you don't have to. You didn't have to chase after her.
What?
If she, yeah, I was like, shut up. You know you love that fucking cat.
Yeah.
That's not the response I would immediately like.
I know, right?
That's amazing.
She seems like she's like, right?
Like Nala wanted this, and like no, she just didn't know what he was getting into. It's little hole she was working on. Her whole like, what do you call it? The Shawshank Redemption fucking path now, you know. And then like when she finally gets there, she's like, so what do I do now? You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
all right, cool. That's a car.
climbed to a mile of shit. Come out clean on in.
This is like immediately jumps back in the same hole. Like, oh no, I guess I do like this here. Yeah,
Right.
fine. All right, my
I
bad.
had a good-
Wait, there's no food out here? Oh shit!
Yeah,
Dude.
I done goofed.
I done goofed.
Yeah.
Talking shit about you.
Oh, you have a cat?
Oh shit!
I didn't even know that.
Really?
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what the story was about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, she's doing like the downward dog
We have an
cat
actual
position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been here like a while. I hadn't seen it, so like I didn't know that.
Yeah,
was
you
a
didn't.
thing.
You probably didn't see her when you were over at the other house either. So
Okay.
yeah.
She was there, but like I think she would be like perched there, so like she probably looked like furniture or something.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like very still, just watching you.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Fuck cats.
You don't like cats, man?
Nah, man.
Are you allergic to them?
No.
You ever have one?
Yeah, I grew up with them.
Oh.
Like my family always had cats in the house, and I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
I grew
because
up.
dude, they're fucking lions, dude. Like they're basically tiny lions.
Yeah.
And if you look
They're
a cat in
fucking
the
lions.
eyes, if you look a dog in the eyes, the dog's like, "Hey, buddy, let's play," you know, or like whatever. Like some dogs are assholes. Don't get me wrong.
Sometimes
Like,
they'll take that as
usually the
intimidation.
little ones that look like cats, but big dogs are cool. Like
Oh, they're like the
I'm
best.
not even about pit bulls or anything like that. Like big dogs are cool. Like it's the little shit dogs that suck. You
The
know?
toy breeds are
Yeah,
like.
fuck
I mean,
that shit.
some of the smaller breeds have functions like a corgi. Like those things are meant to like bite at your ankles to like herd sheep and shit.
Yeah.
So when like it starts going ape shit on your Achilles, like, hey man, you got the breed that goes ape shit on your Achilles.
Yeah.
Like,
I want a corgi.
you want a corgi?
I
I'm
do.
gonna tell you right now, they're gonna gnaw through your ankles
That's cool.
if you don't train them right. That is.
They're adorable.
Yeah.
Golden retriever, dude. It's just
Yeah.
like a big
fucking
hairy
golden
bulldog,
retriever?
dude. They're the best dog.
Yeah.
That's like the most white person dog that I could recommend.
I
Golden
mean,
retriever
you know,
really
we
is.
saw Lassie. It's all good.
Yeah.
But the thing is I don't want one.
Oh, that's
Oh.
fair. Yeah,
So.
that's cool,
I want that or like I don't know, like a French bulldog. That'd be cool.
dude.
I want like an Akita, but I don't have the size of
Dude,
a
those
property
things
for that.
Let me
are
tell you something.
gnarly.
I grew up with a friend that had an Akita.
Yeah.
And his name was Chemo. Like his dad called him Chemo Sabi. Like that was
Right
his
on.
name. And so he called him Chemo. And like we were in the backyard playing basketball one day, and like Chemo was like a dog that I had been around for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were totally cool. Like he's my friend. He's giant, and I
Yeah.
was like 130 pounds, 5 foot, probably 4.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little dude. But like, my 145 pounds isn't little, really.
No, it's not.
Fuck. I'm a fat shit. Anyways.
I think that's how much Keith weighs.
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to.
So we're playing basketball, and like, I go to play defense, you know? Like, we're playing like 21 or whatever in the backyard, and I play a little bit of defense, and it gets a little too aggressive for Chemo, and Chemo comes and takes me down.
Oh wow.
Was it like a clean takedown, or was there like fucking
Dude, like
more-
paws on the shoulders.
Okay,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
a- that's
Like,
a clean
shit,
one, yeah.
He or she, I don't remember if it was male or female, didn't attack me,
But
like,
put his weight on- his or her
defended
weight on you,
his
yeah.
Owner, you know what I mean? Or her, yeah, defended the owner for sure. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to play basketball at your house. Your dog's going to eat me. You
Yeah.
know, like,
No, he's not.
Meanwhile,
He's just gonna
I-
put you in a headlock.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's gonna get you in like a triangle
Luckily.
choke.
Chill out, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he was saying in dog words, yeah. But cats, the reason why cats are fucked up is because they'll look you in the eye and they'll be like, if I was bigger, I would eat you.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally all they ever want to say to you. You know, like they're looking for fucking whatever opportunity they have to fucking attack you and claw your eyes
You're
out.
right.
Yeah.
But evolution decided that that's not going to be the case. And also, you have to eat like pebbles. That's what
Yeah.
you eat your entire life.
Yeah,
And
when
like
you're-
weird wet food that you think smells good, and that's why you eat it.
He's like, oh, this smells like.
Also, you have to shit in a box
Yeah.
with sand in it.
that's weird, man.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like, whose idea was that?
Do lions
you
do
know?
that? Do they like they
Did-
squat and bury their shit like
I
that?
don't think so, man.
Not in the wild. They just take a shit and they're like, all right.
Dude, male lions probably don't even stand up and take a shit.
Yeah, they just kinda, like, wait for
They-
the female
they
lions to do
sleep,
everything.
Like 20 hours a day.
Dude, if I get reincarnated,
You know what I
I
mean?
want to be a fucking male lion, dude.
That might
Yeah.
be the top. That
Yeah.
might be what we're all fighting for without knowing.
Is there like a level,
Yeah.
like a male lion has to prove to just be that dude that just chills out all the time? It's like, oh, I'm a male lion, so
There's
eventually-
definitely like that
Yeah.
pack mentality. There's definitely like the Lion King. Like that's a real story. You know,
Just
like,
lift
it
him
happened
above
in
that
real
rock and
life,
shit?
You know, no
bison or water buffalo.
But I
just
think
trample.
there is like you have with monkeys, right? Like you have like a social structure.
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
have to fight your way up. That's pretty interesting to think
Actually,
about.
the Lion King is just Hamlet. So.
It's Hamlet.
Right, that's right.
But
I
yeah.
don't want to get too smart. You
So
know?
they're doing a live action one now, and I don't know what this is about. I don't know how this is going to
Live
work.
action.
But
What,
wait,
Hamlet?
hold
No,
on.
Lion King.
What's coming
Okay.
next after this comment, David?
But they're going to make Donald Glover Simba.
I knew that was the next thing you
Is
were
this
going
a,
to
this
say.
a
I mean, that's the only thing that I know
And
about
it's
it.
totally worth going to see because Donald Glover is going to be.
You think
somebody.
so?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude! I'll watch
Okay.
anything that.
I mean, yeah, I know,
yeah,
right?
Let's fucking check it
You
out.
can't do
you know?
anything
It might
wrong.
be
This is a
terrible.
movie, right? This is a movie.
Yeah, live action like the Jungle Book that they did.
Okay.
Right, and that actually was a good
They did a great job.
good movie.
Yeah, Jon
Yeah,
Favreau
I
did
enjoyed
shit.
that.
I like Jon Favreau, man, like, and he's a really nice guy.
Super nice,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah,
That
Chef,
motherfucker-
come on.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy would show up at the party that so I've worked an event before where Jon Favreau was a guest.
You want me to edit
I
that
can't
out?
talk- no, it's fine.
Okay.
I didn't mention which party. I didn't mention where. I didn't mention who else. It's fine.
Okay.
But that dude would come up and order a glass of water and drop a 50 on the bar
Really?
for a
That's
glass of water.
Favreau money. This is-
Yeah.
That's
But
Favreau.
Favreau
and
money.
you think like that's what you think. and then he comes back for another glass of water. He gives you another 50.
That's fat,
Every
bro.
time he comes to the bar to get a glass of water.
Man.
You just got
alcohol,
Favreau.
just having like San Pellegrino. You know, here's $50. Here's $50 because he worked in a restaurant growing up.
Okay, there you go. That respect is like built in.
Yeah, which is cool. That's one of the other reasons why I think everybody should work in the service industry for at least 2 years.
Shit, learn that.
Yeah.
I worked at a coffee shop for 2 years, but that thing was, I was running that thing into the ground.
Yeah. No. Yeah, the horrible business idea, but you know how to talk to human beings now.
Yeah.
You know how to treat a person like a person.
Yeah,
you know?
because like if you treat them like shit as a server, it's like they come back at you the 10 times the asshole. And it's like, wow, I didn't know you could be a very spiteful human being. I thought I was one.
Yeah.
You're the epitome of spite.
Oh, dude, yeah. If you want to know, like,
I did not make your coffee right. I am hearing about it right now.
yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, if you want to hear somebody, like, I feel like the service industry will set you up for being able to deal with so many things in life, but it'll also make it so that you have the tools to be the meanest person on the planet.
Oh yeah, when
You know
required.
what I mean?
Some people like
Yeah.
hold on to that meanness. They
Yeah.
think that edge, like that's 110%. That's what success is, or
Yeah.
like higher level stuff is. It doesn't have to be,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously being too nice won't get you anywhere.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because here we are.
Well,
Just
I mean,
three nice guys
Yeah,
sitting
just,
around a table.
just talking about cats.
Yeah, just cat.
Well, no actual nice guy doesn't like cats. So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a dick. Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
fuck it. Oh, just because I don't like mini lions? That's cool,
Yeah.
dude. Whatever.
Yeah, call me out. That's fine.
Yeah. I didn't like cats to begin with because I was always a dog person, but
Yeah.
ever since I kept going like on deployment, all that stuff, like my dog died during a deployment. Like, oh, so
Oh,
broken.
that's heart-wrenching, yeah.
But she had been with me for like 13 years, so
Dude, okay, so on deployment, do they let you bring pets?
depends. Like I was able to bring my cat that I have now from my last deployment
Yeah.
because he was like a local cat. People had taken him in. He was like I was his third owner at the time between
Yeah.
military people because they take a year orders. I took 2 over there.
Uh-huh.
So I had him for a year. Then I was like, wait, the military's gonna fly my cat out? And I'm like, I
Yeah.
just fill out the paperwork.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That's so random.
Yeah. So I brought that cat back with me. Like, this is the chillest cat in the world. He's missing like the 4 front teeth, so he'd be a shitty lion.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that
Yeah.
case is like,
Or a
very-
friendly one.
yeah, friendly.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
pretty
he's
much.
friendly lion.
He looks friendly.
Yeah.
I've never met Snake, but he looks very friendly.
Yeah, he's just like chilling out. Yeah, he's like a Himalayan, but he always has an eye gunked up. Whatever. He's-
Yeah.
Like Snake.
Like Snake
First name
Plissken.
Snake, last name Plissken, yeah.
And he kind of does that girl. Little cigar. I find cigar butts everywhere. Whatever, you know.
He doesn't smoke when I'm around, so I can't say it was him for sure. But
Yeah, it could be me. I don't know. Maybe I picked up a habit.
He's got like a secret bottle of scotch that he's got hidden away in the closet somewhere or something.
that's so
Yeah.
crazy.
But, like,
I always wondered that about the military, though. Like, there's certain, I don't know, there's just
Certain
weird
locations
things that
will
I'm
let you
just
have
like,
it, yeah.
Can you do that if you're in the military? Can you do that if you're in the military? They let them do this, you know?
Like if you're on a ship, like you'll have 24-hour shifts every so often, so you won't be home all day. Like a cat would be like a perfect animal for that.
Yeah.
But like if you say you have to go out on the ocean and stuff, like you got to find somebody to take care of it. A dog probably wouldn't get used to that.
yeah.
A cat would
yeah.
totally be like, sure, whatever. All right, this person, is that food? Is that a place where I poop?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna get those two confused anyways.
And then you come back and he's like, oh, you're fucking back. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
cool. All right, well, let's proceed.
Right.
Whereas a dog, like, you walk in and you're like, hey, it's that guy!
Yeah.
Like,
I remember that smell.
yeah,
I love those
hey.
videos
Yeah.
when like the owners get reunited with their dogs
yeah.
and they're like flipping the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
it's adorable.
My dog did that after a year deployment,
Yeah.
and it was like a sound I haven't heard from my dog ever. It was like a weird whine and like squeal, but it was like a Rottweiler Husky. So it was like this 90-pound dog, like jumping on me.
Just stoked to see.
Yeah, I was like, I had like this bag that smelled like the Middle East, of just like sand and fucking
Yeah.
poop water.
And those
the-
crazy land crabs. and
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh no, I wasn't in Afghanistan. These things are. Oh man, those Starship Trooper head.
That's a real thing, right? Like
The camel spiders?
The camel
Yeah.
spiders.
Oh, okay.
They're not really
I see how
spiders.
the-
I hear they're,
Okay.
they're from like the ant
They
family.
like jump around and shit too, right?
They're
They-
giant. They're giant like fucking king crabs.
Yeah, but they
dude.
don't just like crawl. They like they jump, right? Do
Do
they
they?
do that?
I don't know. I'd never seen one. I was in that part of the Middle East. I was over in Bahrain. And I think it was like Afghanistan, Iran area, like the other side of the Persian Gulf.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, luckily I never seen any of those. That's why I'd be like, fuck this, I'm not staying out here.
Yeah. No thanks, dude. Like.
You didn't tell me you have to fight the bugs also.
Yeah, it's fucking
You see
learn
those-
more,
you-
do what you can for your country, and I'm fucking fighting brain bugs and shit.
Yeah,
Fucking
you've
flying
seen
around.
those YouTube videos though, right? Where there's like 6 dudes in a room and one gets in there, and like they all turn into like cartoonish like little girls standing on chairs, and like there's one where there's like, okay, this is where I realized it's like a real thing, you know, that people are really like freaked out about them, and they're not like, because you only saw like stills during like the first like Desert Storm or whatever.
Oh,
like
what a camel
stills,
spider was.
Like somebody be holding a dead one like this. There was no video or anything. Excuse me. But like I watched this video. There's like 6 dudes in a room. They're like, you know, getting ready for bed or whatever, and like one gets into the room and they freak the fuck out, and they're jumping on tables and chairs like there's a rat in a restaurant or something, and like one of them actually has like a firearm. Like, no, not to use like as a gun, like you use it as a baseball bat. He's holding onto the barrel of like a rifle, and he's like this, trying to defend himself against a spider. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like these are like, and I maybe it's wrong of me to remember that they were Marines, you know, but for some reason in my brain that's what I thought. And I'm like, these are supposed to be like the most cold-blooded killers on the planet, and they're freaking the fuck out about one of these spiders. Those things have to be real, and they have to be terrifying. Like I can't imagine like coming into contact with one of those in the wild. I'd be like, I'm just gonna die right here. That's
right,
this is it. With it. Let's just get this over with.
That's like the weird thing for me. Like I got a weird thing with insects. Like I'm cool with them. I freak out over caterpillars because I found out how they move. They're just like one segment kind of starts and it just kind of does the worm. Yeah. That's scary to me. Yeah. Spiders,
they're like
not
itty,
scary.
They're like itty bitty furry little Disneyland.
I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh at your phobia.
I'm afraid of caterpillars. I'll put it out right there.
So you'll never do the worm at like a party or something like that?
I mean, not everything that caterpillar, but it's like I see it. I'm like immediately like I think of that SpongeBob SquarePants like super close up. I'm just like, oh my god, like it's like staring at me and it's just fucking.
Right.
But if like a camel spider, and like usually insects won't fucking try to come and attack you because you're bigger or anything, unless they're like fucking an army of red ants or some shit.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, all right, cool, no sudden movements. Kind of treat it like a cat, like, hey, what's up, man? Food's over there, you poop over there. Yeah. It's like a certain level of respect. But if the camel spider can jump to like head height and shit and start biting you and all that other stuff, I mean, yeah, I'd probably be like, I would freak the fuck out.
That's me telling people like, hey, God's trying to tell you not to live here, you know? Or the universe.
You have not adapted to this area.
Earth
that's right, Australia. God's telling you not to live there.
Exactly. The universe is telling you to not live here. People are not supposed to inhabit this space. You know, like,
but then you get people like Steve Irwin, like, oh, this is it's fucking all right, cool, it's deadly. This is how you touch it. This is how you walk around. You like kind of live around it.
There's a guy on YouTube that does that.
Steve Irwin is not a good example anymore. He used to be a good example, but he's not a good example anymore.
What's up?
Because he got killed by one of the animals.
I mean, he's an example.
But that's still worse to be like, hey guys, look at this cute little animal. Boom, and then that animal kills
Oh, yeah, no.
That's what his son is like kind of following in his footsteps.
Did you see that thing with Kevin Hart? Oh my god.
Yeah, he was flipping
great.
the fuck out.
He was like, no, I'm gonna stand over here.
It's a bird.
You know, like,
I mean, I know people have, you know, a phobia of birds, but
oh really? I don't know. I think I know.
Yeah, Susan, she's terrified of fucking pigeons.
Are you serious?
It's hilarious.
I can't wait. Wow.
We're sitting having dinner or having lunch over at Schooner later, and like there's pigeons everywhere. Yeah, it's right near the water. Dude, so like one starts walking towards her, and she's like, she gets out of the chair. Okay, I have to.
Yeah,
yeah, she's terrified of birds, dude. I don't know. Something happened to her
when
she was younger.
That's hilarious.
When I was in Italy,
I'm sorry, Susan. I'm not trying to have fun.
She's not gonna listen to this shit. It doesn't matter. Okay. But also,
I'll reaffirm her fear about birds because, like, I went to Italy and I was like, oh, okay, they got the same birds and whatever, and people are feeding the birds. I saw like a baguette or like a loaf of bread or whatever. Yeah. It was hollowed out. Hollowed out. Okay, maybe they're hollowing out the bread for the birds. I walk a couple feet later and I saw a hollowed out pigeon, like hollowed out, just like the bread. Then I don't know what fucking bird it was, but these things, like, they don't fucking...
That's how they get down.
Yeah, they're just fucking... Like, they like the inside of things.
They want the fillet. That's what it's...
Yeah, it's just like, cool. Like, see a hollowed out... And I thought it was just one. There's multiple hollowed out pigeons. I'm like, dude, I guess this is a normal thing here. And, like, there's... I forget what they're, magpies or something like that. I forget what bird it is. But I would not want to fuck with one of those.
That's scary shit.
It was like, oh, yeah, cool. I know how to get into the center of things. Just start... Like, oh, God. So, some birds, yeah.
People say the crows have memory.
Yeah. I give a lot of respect to
crows and ravens. Like
crows and ravens, yeah.
Like if you're an asshole to them, they'll remember you, and then they'll be dicks to you.
I like that we're discussing all our fears and like animals.
Dude, we might as well.
You want to get into fears? My fears are real simple. Like sinkholes and fucking aneurysms.
Those are the two most random. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen.
Those are the two most terrifying things in the world. Hurricane? I'm not afraid of a hurricane. You know why? Because when they say there's going to be a hurricane, I will leave.
You got a lot of updates on that. Like, okay, this hurricane is gaining speed.
Hey,
like
some shitty shit is going to happen in your neighborhood soon. Yeah. Think about it. Oh, okay.
I thought quicksand would be a much bigger problem in adult life.
Dude, tell me about it. And you know what's crazy? Like, my kitchen job, I make nut butter. Mm-hmm. Like, from scratch. So I just toast a bunch of, like, cashews and almonds and stuff like that. And then I have to, like, use this giant immersion blender with olive oil to, like, make it into, like, a spreadable nut butter. And I have that exact thought every single time that I have to do it. I'm just like, this looks like what quicksand should have looked like. Wow. You know, like, and then I'm like... I like put the immersion blender blade into like, and I'm making like 12 quarts, 15 quarts, 20 quarts, you know, like and you stick it at the top, and if you let go, it will just sink.
You're right.
Like, that's it. I just make quicksand for a living. That's my job. Like that's
you're a terrible person.
You know? Like no, it's fun.
You could just like set up like
delicious quicksand.
You could still set up like quicksand traps everywhere. Like what is this cashew base? No, fucking sinking. You know,
terrible. What was another? There was another thing that I remember thinking about in the 80s that's like not a big deal at all. Whatever.
I just saw Ready Player One, which was just all 80s references.
Dude, my 6-year-old nephew loves that movie to death, which is interesting because he gets 0 references.
Yeah, the concept of it was like they had to learn 80s culture in order to solve this like this riddle. It became like a culture of remembering stuff from the 80s.
Dude,
like what? That's crazy.
So that's kind of interesting to think about, right? Because you have a 6-year-old who's loving this movie now. It's just programming him to want to unlock all of these experiences later in life when he goes back and starts watching all the old Spielberg movies. That's cool. Smart. Dude, Spielberg's a genius.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
I guess there's a book. I could probably read it.
There's a book about it?
Ready Player One's based off a book.
Oh. Well, every movie nowadays, I guess, is based off a book.
Yeah.
Because there's no more fresh ideas in Hollywood.
Comic books, remakes.
Yeah.
Well, like a lot of science fiction movies were like Philip K. Dick short stories, like fucking Blade Runner. What else? Scanner Darkly. Like just a whole bunch, like some like here and there. Was it the one where the Gary Sinise like Mission to Mars or something like that, where like they keep coming down? Never seen that. Okay, watch a lot of sci-fi movies. But yeah, no, they're based off of stuff. Then I like reading. I want to read the story because like it could completely not be the exact same as the movie.
Right.
Like Starship Troopers was definitely not like the book at all.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this? They just kind of like they took the name of it and like, oh, this is the movie now. I was like, interesting.
It's completely different.
Completely different. I do like the movie Starship Troopers, but the book had a completely different message.
Yeah.
Unless you like were pulling straws, like, oh, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Right. You're like really trying to make this work.
Yeah, really trying to make it like
draw some parallels there.
Yeah.
I think I saw the movie once.
Starship Troopers?
Yeah, just once.
You should revisit it, if not in Blu-ray and HD. Because they've made updates.
Vested interest.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sponsored by Starship Troopers.
Sponsored by Starship Troopers. No.
But like Shawshank was based off of a short story, like Stephen King short story, right? Like, and it's not at all like, you know, like the short story has no way, shape, or form could have been made into a movie with just that content. They had to flesh it out, and so. Like, I think that's probably a better place to draw inspiration.
Yeah, short stories for sure, because then you can create a larger.
Yeah.
It's like
because like think about
masterpiece.
like The Hobbit, right? Mm-hmm. Like they had to break it down. How many movies now total? It's like 7 movies now, right? Between like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and the Decimation or whatever. Like there's so many of those movies. Like to try and pare down a piece of like literature into film is. And everybody always fucks it up. Like, I'm a huge Dark Tower fan. I don't know if you guys have read the Dark Tower series.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that. Oh.
Dude, and then they were like, it's a 7 series or an 8-book series now.
To one movie.
And they try to, distill it into one movie. And I was just like, you guys are going to fuck this up. And then I saw the movie. I was like, oh, I was right. You know, fuck you guys, you know. But then you look at, like, that series was based off of a poem.
Wow.
Like, Stephen King got the inspiration from a poem. And he turned it into this 8-book like magnum opus saga. You know, it's like the piece of work he's most proud of. You know, like it's crazy to think about that. Like turn like smaller projects into larger projects, and then you can be more creative and have fresher ideas as opposed to trying to distill it. Because that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll get off my soapbox.
No,
That's
all
cool,
right.
man.
I have the same feeling about like video game movies. Like I watched the Mario Brothers movie. I don't know if anybody remembers that travesty.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
pretty bad.
I
They-
have like images burned into my brain, you know, of like Bob Hoskins.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
his
it's fucking
crazy,
Bowser, yeah.
like mustache and
They
all
were
that
like-
kind of stuff. But
yeah.
like, I literally don't remember.
I don't know
watching
how
that
they
movie
were
at
like,
all.
yeah, John Leguizamo, let's do that. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy, right?
I don't understand how people can make video games into movies because like it's like, hey, I'm Mario, and this is my brother Luigi, Mario, and like they had to create like this whole story based off a video game,
Right.
and they had like Koopas and mushrooms. Like I don't think you could turn that into a movie, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
cartoon. It was a pretty good cartoon.
Yeah,
It was a
cartoon,
good
yeah.
cartoon.
yeah. it's
But
good.
like as like an actual movie, I'm gonna sit down and watch this. I'm like, oh no.
But that's how shit was back then, right? Like, because like if you look at like Saturday morning cartoons, right? Those were the reason why they don't exist anymore is because they were all being produced by toy companies.
Yep.
Right.
Right, and then they came through and whatever law in the 90s that got passed, and then robbed future generations of Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
didn't know that.
I remember
Yeah, it
the
was crazy.
day that like I woke up and like it just nothing.
Infomercials,
Like, childhood
straight
was a
infomercials.
lie. Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, childhood over. Great.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
good.
guess I'm a grown up now. Better go get a job.
Yeah, right.
You know, like
So I can go die somewhere.
David,
Yeah.
you're 9 years old. You shouldn't shave yet. Too bad. I'm a
Right.
grown up
Yeah.
now. Dude.
Yeah.
It was a great time though, man, to be a kid. Like, cause you're like,
You got every TV, every cartoon had a toy,
yeah,
or like
was
some
great.
toys just became cartoons and vice versa.
dude.
Yeah.
I have a 13-year-old that doesn't give a shit about toys her entire life. She doesn't care at all. She had Barbies when she was a kid. She didn't give a fuck about them. She just played with them in the bathtub.
But like they still make cartoons
Like, she
based off
just
of
didn't
these.
Care. Yeah,
Didn't like make that consumer leap of like I need this physical toy.
yeah, and I'm not like, I'm glad she's not like this like materialistic person that's like super after, you know, whatever collection. But at the same time, it's like that experience is like not something she's ever gonna get. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. There's also like nobody ever has knocked on our door and been like, you know, can so and so come play? And I'm like, you don't do that anymore.
That's kind of scary that it is
Yeah, it's
going away.
weird, man. That was
That
what
level of
my
human
every day.
interaction, yes.
That was
I freak
every
out
day.
when anytime somebody knocks.
Yeah, who's
on
knocking on my door? That's
I'm
my
like,
first thought.
I didn't
Someone
invite
knocks on
you
my door.
over,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
It's
probably
almost
don't
like that
want
with
you
phone
over.
calls now.
Yeah.
Who are you? Leave me
Who's
alone.
calling me?
Please stop
Why didn't you
calling
text me first and tell me you were going to call? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I don't like talking on the phone.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I love talking on the phone. Maybe I'm just old school like that.
Yeah.
Because like I get texts, I'm like, people use like ... I'm like, I don't know what that means. Or they'll use like an emoji. I'm like, is that good or bad?
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
get the whole text lingo past like factual things. Like putting emotions into text is really hard. I hear
Yeah.
somebody's inflection or like, hey, how are they going? How are they doing or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
no. If I'm just
certainly.
relaying information, I don't. If we need to have a conversation about something, we
Yeah.
can do that. But like, if I'm just like, hey, come over this time, or
Oh no, I'm a
You
fan.
know.
I'm a fan of like David. What time are you coming? Like, why are you asking me this? I was like, well, just what time? Oh, who do we have here?
Who's at my door?
We got a guest.
Fucking knocking on my door.
Just talking about it. What law was passed that no more Saturday? Is that why like I'm thinking about it now? So like no more Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe there's like a lot of Japanese animation that came in. That way there's like everybody's like watching that.
Oh, shit, it's time.
Teen Aste.
Yeah, like back in the day, like Hasbro and all these other companies.
who's here?
Get in the
What
shot.
up?
Get in the
Get in
shot.
the shot.
Come on in.
Get in the shot.
Teen
Look at the
Aste.
chair.
Over chair.
But that was the real thing. Like there used to be like
last one.
Hasbro,
Oh,
like
yes.
G.I. Joe cartoon
We're
was
just gonna sit here and hang out
produced
with us now?
by.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. Just,
You can't. There's.
I'll just sit over there.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. Continue, guys.
Sorry about that.
It was crazy though, and I don't know. I'm not really sure like what law got passed to make it so that wasn't the case or whatever. But
That's like the end of like
that was a real thing. That's
Playmates
when-
stopped making
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yeah.
That
it was
feeling of
crazy,
waking
man.
up
It
and,
just
like-
wrecked childhoods for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Like-
So nuts. That and porn. Like,
Well,
those
no.
two things killed more childhoods than.
I think it enhanced it for me. As soon as I was.
Are you
like,
talking
oh,
about like the physical media
Like the
part? Like
discovery of porn. It was like, oh, I'm not
Jeez.
kidding anymore. See you later. You know. Like,
9-year-old gets a suitcase, like no more Saturday morning cartoons. Porn is everywhere. All right, well, this,
It was more like a solution to a problem. I felt.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. It's interesting to think about. I don't remember the time where I went from being a kid to being a grown up.
Yeah. Well, that's because there's no milestone. There's no.
Not in our culture.
No, not in ours. Yeah, that's the thing,
But
and
like
that's
a bar
why
mitzvah, the Jewish culture. There's other
I feel like
rituals
females
and,
and Latino and
people
Latino
still have connections
cultures.
to those feelings that they had when they were a child.
That's why we're so nostalgic as
Yeah.
a society. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's okay as long as you have an understanding of,
Basic logic.
basic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reasoning
no, but that's the
skills,
thing.
yeah.
That's like that shit is not common anymore.
Yeah, I know.
You
right?
know?
I was trying to comment on somebody's thing, and I was just like, I kept rewriting it because I was like gonna say some scandalous shit and like start a fight with a bunch of people that I don't agree with. But then I was just like, because I'm a rational human being. Wait, no. Because I have basic reasoning skills. No. Like I feel this way because I think for my. No, I'm not gonna say that. You
Can't
know,
even
like,
do that.
Yeah, it was like, dude, I was like, fuck, man. Like, how do you not know this is a bad idea? For whatever reason it was. I'm not gonna get political, but.
This is why I get off social media for the most part, other than like Instagram because it's just pictures. But
it's not anymore. It's so much more than that. I had to have like a whole tutorial about how to do shit on Instagram for my 13-year-old the other day.
what?
I was like, how do I do this thing? Like, how
What
can
were you trying to do?
make it Insta stories? We had this conversation last night, so sorry, rehash.
I'm
that's
just learning myself. So.
Yeah, I didn't know shit about it.
Did you learn
Like,
anything that you can tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you
You
can
realize-
put music. You can put music to your Insta stories. You can choose the music.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. I didn't know that. That was fucking life changing.
That's pretty cool.
Now all I want to do is make Insta stories for a living, because I've
For
always
a living.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this before. I talk about this a lot, but like in my brain, like I always want to find like the perfect music to match the moment that I'm experiencing right now,
Mhm.
like all the time, like right now.
Right now.
Thinking about what music would play best over us talking, and would complement this and make this more. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's an interesting thing. Sorry.
I definitely have White Rabbit playing in my head just constantly.
Constantly.
The peak is coming. Like,
No, I'm getting that Pharrell Happy song and just a montage of us doing different activities together.
that we've never actually done.
That
but
we've
it's-
never done.
Yeah, with lots of hand holding
Yeah.
and jumping and skipping,
Flying
and
kites and
that.
shit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, flying kites would be fun. You guys have never flown a kite?
I've flown a kite.
I've flown several kites.
Oh,
almost
okay.
over 2 decades
Yeah,
ago.
I was obsessed with kites for a
Yeah,
while.
way over for me.
I mean, it's been a while, but yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's not true. I flew a kite on my mom's birthday. 'Cause
This year?
It was on 4th of July, and we were
Oh,
at the
nice.
beach. Somebody
Your
had-
mom's birthday is 4th of July?
Yeah, yeah.
Is she like one of those people that's bummed out that her birthday shares with the holiday, or is she excited about it?
No, she literally could not give less of a shit like, about anything.
Oh,
Really.
cool.
That's what I love about your mom, man. She just does not give a fuck.
No, she just
Yeah.
doesn't care. Yeah, about getting older, birthdays, anything.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
That's cool, man.
As long
That's
as we
the
get
way
to
you
do
gotta-
something.
That's where you got to be, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to acquire that trait. Pretty
Yeah.
much, and just like move through life.
Just be cool with things.
Yeah.
This is how it is now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I forget who said that. There was somebody that I was listening to that was just like, that's the key to happiness right there. It's just like every time something like big happens, just be like, this is how it is now.
No.
Yeah.
Don't think of it in a negative way.
I think when you try to
I don't know
compare
who
it to
that
like
was.
past incidences and all that stuff, like you kind of just regress into like, okay, well, do I have an experience that matches this so I can deal with this, or
Yeah.
this is this new feeling and I'm either going to accept it or just be lost in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I'm saying experience everything. That way you can just never have a complaint that you're like, I don't know how to feel about this, or I'm lost. This changes everything. Like,
Yeah.
Just do everything. Fuck it.
No.
Do everything once or do everything twice,
Yeah, there you go.
right?
Once or twice or
I
more.
think do
On
everything
average.
twice is a good idea.
Twice?
Right? Yeah, because like you're going to fuck it up the first time. Let's be real.
True.
Like
Yeah.
the chances of you getting a real depiction of like your feelings about something doing it once is probably pretty poor, right?
Mm.
Like, so you got to do it a second time to be like,
Yeah.
like think about like doing like mushrooms or something. I mean, I don't know.
Did it once.
Yeah, you do it once and you're like, maybe I don't. But if you do it a second time, maybe that's the one that unlocks and be like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Or maybe the first one was really good, and then I did it the second time. I'm like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
it's
even
scary.
worse than the
But
first
then you
time.
have like a more,
There's a gauge though.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
a more reasonable like scale of opinion. I don't know.
No, I get it.
That's
Yin
what I feel
and
like.
yang.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, where are we at, sir? This
We're at an hour 17, and altogether this is going to be a 5-hour-long episode, so we're going to do another hour.
Of just us bullshitting.
I
What
like it,
if
though.
killer whales try to eat gray whites? You know?
We need to go to SeaWorld, just fucking test out all the animals, see how they react to, like,
Yeah.
cans of tuna.
Just
Even
show
the
up.
tuna, yeah.
Who would win in a fight, a killer whale or a bear?
Yeah. Wait,
or,
on land
or
or
a
in
camel
the...
spider?
You got me thinking. I'm like,
So wait, are you taking... Which environment are you putting him in? Top of a volcano. I'm like, oh, shit. Who's going to win, guys?
we need to stop doing this and start writing movies, guys.
We're giving away so many good ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, if Sharknado's a thing, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, but dude, even that's getting to be bullshit now. Like Sharknado seemed like, and the reason why people were into it the first time was that it's like this fresh idea, even though it was a ridiculous idea. They're on like Sharknado 5 now.
No,
So even
they
that
were
is-
into it because it was so campy and terrible.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like
Oh,
it was
okay.
a terrible idea, and it's campy, and it's like, but like it's almost like a movie that you love to hate. You know what I mean? But like,
Sure.
they're not even doing that originally anymore because they're like. They're not on to something else. They're on
They gotta
Sharknado 5.
squeeze every
You know?
little
It's fucking ridiculous,
Fucking,
dude.
you know, drop out of there, and then once they're like, okay, complete flop, like we're not getting any money now,
Yeah.
we're losing money.
Yeah.
Because the budget on this film was $200.
And we got to pay Ian Ziering, 197 of them. Yeah.
And,
like-
that blonde chick, what's her name? She's in that too.
I don't know. I
don't know,
seen
she's
any
crazy.
of those movies.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
I
Anyways.
imagine that anybody who's in the Sharknado movies has got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, even
I think she
Charlie
was on
Sheen's like,
90210
nah,
or
I'm
something.
good. I'm not going to be in
Charlie
Sharknado.
Sheen?
You know?
So wait, so Charlie Sheen's on it. Is Gary Busey in any of the 5?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of them.
Okay. Got to
Who
figure
would
that
win in a
out.
fight, Charlie Sheen or Gary Busey?
Where's the location?
Oh.
Arctic Circle.
Top of a volcano.
I'm going Charlie Sheen every time.
Charlie Sheen every time?
Tiger Blood.
He's got AIDS
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like-
Tiger Blood.
I feel like Gary Busey's going to fight like he was on Celebrity Deathmatch, just random props out of anywhere.
Dude.
Okay, here's a good gauge. You have Gary Busey and Charlie Sheen both played in baseball movies.
I feel like Gary
Right?
Busey's crazier.
Right?
Yes.
Gary Busey was in Rookie of the Year, right? Remember? You gotta give him the hot stinky cheese. Right? That guy? You gotta throw from the know-how. And you're like, what am I talking about?
Yeah, that's-
and he was like, if you take that character versus Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn,
Ooh.
you gotta go. Charlie Sheen's gonna win every time. Come on.
What's the wild thing, Vaughn? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking
come
Charlie
on.
Sheen at his baddest. Like,
Yeah.
that's the best I can remember him. Other than like, what was it? What were the Rambo ones that he did? Or was it the other fucking Hot Shots? He did Hot
Top
Shots.
Oh,
Gun?
yeah, Hot Shots.
Yeah, Hot Shots.
Hot Shots.
Well, Hot Shots
Dude,
2
does
was
that-
the Rambo one.
Does
but-
that movie infuriate people in the military?
Huh? Hot Shots? No, it's hilarious.
Okay, cool.
I think the ones that would infuriate military is the ones that are trying to
Like
be
Top
accurate,
Gun.
trying to be
Like,
accurate as
trying to
possible. No, no,
Jarhead?
Top Gun is like a
love it.
naval officer. Like you have to watch it repeatedly. I'm not an officer, but
Right.
but like for flight officers and everything, like
Yeah.
so many Top Gun references that fly over my head, pun
Really?
intended. But like
Because as a bartender, Cocktail
Mhm.
is like the most bullshit movie ever.
well, yeah,
But it's so bullshit that we love it again.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like, I absolutely am like, they're like, but in Cocktail, I'm like, don't fucking talk about that.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
But in
You know what I
Cocktail,
mean?
That's like if I asked David, is Roadhouse a pretty good representation of your day to day work?
absolutely.
Like people call you in from like 3 city states over or
Yes.
tri-city
I am
areas or
Patrick
whatever.
Swayze.
Yeah.
I've often thought that. I'm waiting for the dancing. but every night I'm waiting for the dancing.
And you guys never noticed, but I'm always wearing cowboy boots.
I've noticed. You rip a couple throats, but you put them back. You put them right back.
Well, you
Sorry
know,
about that, buddy.
I'm taking it away for a second, so you just
I
learn
want
a
you
lesson.
to know what I can do.
Yeah.
Rip the throats out.
Yeah.
Somebody, you mentioned that to me like last time when you were over at the bar, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
You've never seen Roadhouse?
No, I've never seen Roadhouse.
How you do what
You-
you do? You never seen Roadhouse?
yeah,
I mean, I haven't
you're-
seen it either.
Yeah.
Ask any fucking like security guy or
Yeah.
door guy if
Yeah.
they've seen Roadhouse, and like 1 out of 50 will say yeah.
I
Sure.
think that's a generational thing, though.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
probably
older of a
why.
movie.
Yeah.
It's all Ghost.
But like if you,
Yeah.
well, it's about the same movie, same amount of throat rips. No, it's good.
So many throat rips.
I don't think I've seen that movie either.
That was his idea too. That's his little like, all right, I'll do the movie, but I need to rip out a couple throats
Really?
before. Yeah.
Dude,
Don't worry, Ghost has nothing to do with anything that.
throat ripping.
Yeah,
I gotta be
Well,
honest. I think the only Patrick Swayze movie I've ever seen.
Point Break.
No, I never saw that.
Okay.
So good.
Just Dirty Dancing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he was
Outsiders?
nah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
He's in like a lot of movies.
Right?
You're actively trying not to watch
I
Patrick
guess
Swayze.
I might not like him. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a fan. I don't think I'm not a fan. I mean, maybe he's cool.
This is where I lower my shirt and show you my Swayze tattoo. And just like,
Right.
Get out of here.
It's a full-on
Yeah.
portrait
yeah.
of just his head.
When I was where I grew up in Simi Valley, like there was a dance school that was run by his mom, and he would show up like once a year for their big like thing. And so all the girls that I went to school with, like junior high, they were like, "Oh, tonight's the night.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the weekend. He's coming to our recital." And he would just like stand in the back and watch them dance for 5 minutes and leave. I'm sure.
Right.
I don't think they all got to like shake hands and shit.
He's
but,
like, "All right,
like
time
a
to
meet
go."
and greet. He's like, "Hi, mom, how's it going? All right, bye."
Yeah. All right. Well, I got homework for both of you. You watch Roadhouse,
Roadhouse.
and by the fact you try to actively avoid Patrick Swayze movies, watch Roadhouse also.
All right.
Also, I'm going to watch Roadhouse. You're all invited.
So we're just going to
Watch Roadhouse, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't really
Watch
homework.
Roadhouse. The next time, if you guys have a need for a guest in the future and you need somebody to come and fill this spot, make sure it's after we all watch Roadhouse, and then we'll just break down Roadhouse.
Maybe that
Oh,
will
I
be
would-
the episode. We're just watching Roadhouse
Yeah.
and we record that. How about that?
We'll do like
That's
a
terrible.
live
I would probably
commentary.
get a copyright strike.
No. You
everywhere. I
can
don't
do
know.
it. You can do it. Somebody does that on Patreon. They do like a whole commentary tracks.
While the
Oh,
movie's
okay.
playing in the back, or
No. They just like start the movie now.
Oh, okay,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Kind of thing. And
Like a commentary, like a director's cut track, kind of like, hey, this is what we were
yeah,
thinking
but
of the
it's
scene.
people like us, so it's a little bit more mystery science.
Yeah.
theater, you know, like then
We can do that. We can set it up right over here.
inside sports. Or
Yeah,
Behind the back there, just fucking, just
Yeah.
like it.
that'd be cool.
we could just get we could take a picture of us, like the back of our heads, like a silhouette, like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
I could print out very small and put it on the camera lens.
There you
and
go.
just like record whatever. We don't physically have to be there. But
All right,
if
folks. So you heard it here.
Yeah.
We're doing a Roadhouse fucking commentary track here.
Guaranteed, we actually have some subject matter for next time. It's
All right,
there you
special
go.
guest Patrick Swayze, R.I.P.
As
I was about to say, I was like, isn't he dead?
Yeah,
Let's do it, dude. That sounds fun.
yeah, I'm down. Wow, Roadhouse, tearing up on the inside.
Really?
Yeah, that kind of hurts. Well, it hurts me more that David hasn't seen it
Yeah.
because it's like this is like OJT, like on the job training.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
It's like
I don't need any.
what?
That's
What?
true.
I'm good.
You
I
want
know
to be
you-
like other people that do what you do.
But see, Patrick
Special.
Swayze didn't. Roadhouse, he didn't need it either. He was just being himself. And then when he did, he's like, turkey, just ripping people's throats out. Well, that was in another
In
movie.
between pirouettes.
Yeah, in between pirouettes.
Like he dances his way
I
across
feel
the
like
dance
if
floor.
we were
and
just,
then-
I mean, this podcast is over. The first throat I rip out is it's a wrap, dude. So like, I'm just trying to preserve the show.
Well,
You know,
That's true, huh? Yeah.
just a thought.
There's no way that you can rip somebody's throat out these days without getting caught.
yeah.
It's like impossible.
Yeah.
There's so much DNA in your
You can't
fingertips.
even
I don't
talk your
know.
way out of a speeding ticket anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
You know what
can
you
rip
needed to
somebody's
do
throat
in
out.
order to get away with murder in like the 20s? Just don't be there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
literally move, change your hat. I don't know. Wear different shoes.
Draw a pencil mustache on and be like, no, I have a mustache, see?
Yeah. your representation of your criminal is not
Yeah,
me.
legit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get away with anything anymore, man.
Oh no, man.
I feel like that's kind of a sad like state of the world, to be honest.
Well, it's
Not
the way it
saying
is
that
now.
I'm like pro crime or anything, but like, come on, man.
I think the way we have, like
I
think
like your argument.
Yeah, it's good, right?
I think the way we have it now, like we inherently have it because we have cell phones, we use the internet, and like we're logging. Like our presence digitally is there, and depending on the case and what gets subpoenaed, I'm not a legal expert or anything like that, but
Of the three of us, I
Yeah.
think you are the legal expert.
oh shit,
pretty
okay, well,
much.
Yeah.
it's not like unless there was like an active case and like a bigger investigation where they needed to pull like your phone records, where you've
Right.
been, and all that stuff. I mean, it would be like that would be unnecessary depending on the crime. So like speeding ticket, like yeah, obviously they wouldn't pull all those records. But if like murder, like oh yeah, we're fucking going deep in, and then like
Yeah.
so depending, not saying any crime isn't traceable, but depending on the crime to the scrutiny of which they would be looking at.
Yeah.
Not like there's a big brother like, yeah, that fucker sped. I know why.
Yeah.
Satellite imaging. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's
That
not
would
like
be
that.
pretty crazy.
But like when you like say you break in at, like a B&E
Yeah.
or somebody gets killed or whatever, or like even like crime scene investigation, like you shoot a gun, you think that the gun has some serial number. Like, no, they have to do some detective work.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what kind of gun? Who owns this gun? Then they're also taking all that surrounding information, like where was this person, wherever.
Yeah.
And unless there's like some reasonable issue to like, hey, let's pull his phone records or his IP address wherever and like what cell phone tower, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is like you're not constantly being surveilled at all times, but in the case that they needed to pull those records,
They could
you're
if they
constantly being
wanted to.
surveilled. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna be like, "Who's back there? Smokey. He's taking a shit."
Yeah. It's like, how do I know? He's on Instagram right now.
Yeah,
Right? It's a giant fucking computer, like
Yeah, totally.
telling me where Smokey is at any time.
Totally.
But yeah,
That's crazy.
we live in a time that could happen. Yes.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not doing wrong or anything like that, you don't have to worry about.
It's weird where that break is too, right? Like I used to work at this place that had an ATM machine inside, and it was like one of those like gas station ATMs. It wasn't like a Bank of America ATM or anything. And somebody broke in and like went and got tools out of the shop and came and like jimmied open the ATM machine. They stole all the cash out of there.
Yeah.
And I remember the cops coming the next day, and I remember talking to like the cops, the owner, the manager, my manager. And we were all talking about it, and they were like, okay, well, the cop lady, and it wasn't like an investigative situation. There was like blood on the machine. That nobody took a swab. There's visible fingerprints in blood. Nobody did anything about it.
Wow.
Okay.
And I was just
Fingerprints and blood. That's a double.
fingerprints
That's a twofer.
in the blood. You know what I mean? Blood fingerprints.
The investigator come by like, what's up with all this? Like, started cleaning it all off. And
Yeah, no, I don't think they did that. They looked at it and they were like, okay, and how much money did you say was in the ATM? Approximately this much.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay. And they just basically took a police report like you had a missing dog, and then they left. And I was like, when are they going to come back and like
CSI the fuck out of this scene?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when are they going to dig it for semen or something, Like, like, when is this going to happen? And they were like, oh, they're not. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, there's a fingerprint right there. I'm seeing it. I have no police skills whatsoever. I see a fingerprint. And they're like, yeah, it's like $1,500 in there, dude. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, what do you mean it's not a big deal? Like, somebody broke in here and bled all over this place.
Think about the resources it would take to get all that information. Like, and
Right.
the payout was like, well, we just spent $10,000 worth of city taxpayer dollars to find out it was a crackhead.
Yeah, totally.
And when we prosecute that
or worse, it was the other mechanic. You know what I mean? Who knew how to break in. It was crazy to think about that. Like, up until that point, I thought every crime would just get investigated to the fullest extent. You know what I mean? For some reason,
Like, it
And
really
then I was
depends on
like,
how much
dude.
the police want to push it or to what level and degree it affects people.
They're in a deficit image-wise, so they're going to focus more on things that are going to be, a shining light on
Totally,
the work
totally.
that they do.
Yeah. But
'Cause
also,
it's paid for by us.
the guy was like, "Oh, my deductible's like $750." So for $750, they're gonna give you your $1,500.
Right.
That was it. It was an insurance thing.
Yeah,
It was just like,
that's what I was gonna say.
fuck
Like,
it.
insurance will usually cover it up to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So unless they were like, okay, now this is insurance fraud, like with arson and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
okay, let's investigate because this dude had. If you think like the owner had more to gain from this crime happening to them than they did, like, okay, well, $1,500 ATM. The owner doesn't even obviously own that ATM. It's some big bank. What are they gonna do? Get another $1,500 and get another ATM in there.
It's so crazy to think about, man.
Yeah.
I was really hoping they were gonna find semen under there.
I'm pretty sure they would have.
The dirty old bowling alley,
Yeah.
definitely.
I got radiocarbon dated this semen. This is at least 30 years old. This can't be the perpetrator.
Dude, I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
nobody wants a carbon dated bowling alley. Anything in a bowling alley, everything in there is old, everything in there is rotten, everything in there is. And you know what's crazy is that, like, up until, like, you stop being able to smoke indoors, like, bowling alleys are like one of the most popular places to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
People would smoke while they bowled.
Well, they would have ashtrays built into the actual...
to the settee chairs, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. Like, in the 2 bowling alleys that I've worked at in my life, since that law has passed, have both had indoor smoking rooms.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Where
booth
you
kind
can-
of thing.
Yeah, like they have at the airports, like
Yeah.
a big...
Those are awesome.
Dude, one of my favorite jobs ever. I worked at a bowling alley when I was in high school. I smoked then.
Isn't this how you became a bartender?
No. This is a different bowling alley.
Oh.
I know.
Another
it's crazy,
story.
right?
Bowling
I-
alley
Another
says this
bowling
man
alley.
I worked it too.
Okay,
I'm not a lunatic, okay? But inside the smoking room, they used to have the glass so you could see the bowling lanes, and there was probably like 6 or 8 tables in there with like high top tables with chairs. And we would go in there. Somebody had to clean the smoking room windows, and so like the high school girls that didn't smoke and some of the dudes that didn't smoke would be like, "Dude, I don't want to clean the smoking room windows." I'd be like, "I'll do it." You know, same way you see me sweep up the bar. You know, I'd be like, "I'll sweep." You know, like I don't care. I can sweep while I smoke. That's fine. But I would go in there, and they had like touchscreen games. Remember those? Like the
video poker,
Megatron. Yeah, like there's like 30 games. You put $1 and you play 4 games. You know, like the photo switch and different card games, whatever. Tri Towers, and like I would go in there and like smoke a cigarette, and then I would clean one pane, like a 2 foot by 2 foot pane of glass. There was like floor to ceiling panes of glass, for like 25 feet. And I would just sit there and clean one pane of glass. Then I smoke another cigarette. We had another pane of glass. And anytime anybody walked by, they're like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going to finish a cigarette and then I'm going to clean these windows." Like, I would spend hours and hours and hours in there, dude. I fucking love those little rooms. They were so cool.
I love them on international flights because like after like 8 to 10 hours, it's just being like, I need somewhere to smoke, but if I leave, I'm either A, in a foreign country and I have to like,
right.
like getting back into the airport might be a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Or B, they're like, you can't smoke anywhere outside for like another mile. I'm like, what country is this?
Yeah.
Those smoking booths for international terminals, not all American ones have them, but like everyone that I've been to overseas is just like, either like they don't even care about the sensor, the fan sensor, like the door's like already wide open,
right?
Depending on,
right.
But like everybody's just smoking, and there's like this, the look of people walking in stressed out as fuck, and people leaving actually relieved. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like everybody's. It's like if you were to actually do a time lapse of like a picture lapse of people entering a bar and leaving a bar, like, hey, they're tired. Like they're even more tired leaving.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. Like, so I'm like going in there like, cool. All right, leave. Get on a plane, and everybody in the airport's doing that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've never experienced these before, so this is new information to me.
It's pretty rad. I know they used to have one in San Francisco. That's the only airport that I went to that had one.
They had indoor smoking at a bowling alley on the East. I think it was Virginia.
See, in a bowling alley.
Yeah, in a bowling alley.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Bowling alleys are cool ass places, man.
They are.
They really are.
They have them
full bar.
Yeah.
Video arcade.
Food.
Entertainment as far as bowling goes.
Yeah.
TVs over every lane.
Mm-hmm.
Karaoke.
Sometimes they have
some karaoke. Yeah. Some of them have open mic comedy.
Yeah. Some of them have conference rooms, so you can just have multifunction events.
Party rooms. Yep. You can have a 4-year-old birthday party or a meeting of military minds if you need to.
So it's crazy.
Dude, all encompassing.
Yeah, we have a bowling alley on my base, and it's just like people use it for a whole bunch of like people getting out of the Navy meetings. It's just like prefer them for civilian life. All the lanes are open.
Well, you guys have meetings after you're done?
No, not after you're done. It's like if you're starting to process out of the military, they don't want to just like, okay, well, bye. Like there's like about a year and a half of like you're taking courses like, okay, well, this is how you create a job application. This is how you.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
life skills.
Yeah, just like okay, how do you apply the skills you have now into civilian terms?
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's way better than for some reason I thought it was like a debriefing. It's like okay, so you remember when we talked about that thing in that one place? You don't get to think about that anymore. That never happened.
No.
If you still have the socks that we gave you in week 2, we're going to need those back.
No,
it's not like that.
No. Like I'd have to say out of the stuff because we don't get, the stuff that we get issued usually either comes out of our paycheck anyways. Like we get an allotment for it, so we end up buying it. But it's more like, hey, so we don't just like your plan is like, hey, I don't like the military and whatever negativity comes with like that's cool. But here are some classes we're making you go to. So, like, you dress up real nice and you learn how to apply whatever you got. Or if you don't want to even do that, like, hey, how do you look into going back to college?
They help you figure out, like, what fields are best for you based on your experience.
I mean, not to that extent, but, like, hey, get into your mind, like, hey, they gave you benefits to go to college.
They need, man. They need, like, guidance counselors.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, these are the things that you did here. And these are the jobs that carry those same skill sets.
Yeah.
Start there.
There's a lot of resources like people don't utilize, but that's like one of the meeting places would be. So I was like, I'm in a bowling alley. They're serving like they got fried gizzards over there too. That's why I love that bowling alley also.
Fried gizzards,
chicken gizzards, yeah.
Holy shit,
so good, yeah. Video poker. There's video poker in there. An arcade that's like half broken, like every other bowling alley.
That's where it should be.
And it's combined with like a fishing shop too. There's like a bait and tackle.
It used to be a bowling pro shop, and people stopped buying bowling balls. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I think
bowling
alleys.
Neon sign outside.
Yes, there is.
Dude,
there has to be. There has to be.
That's what I'm talking.
There has to be a neon sign. Otherwise, it's not a bowling alley.
I fucking love a good bowling alley.
Yeah. Like you remember, you go to. When's the last time we went to Cal Bowl? Have we ever gone to Cal Bowl?
I mean, I've gone several times. In my life.
Yeah.
What's that? Where's that? Is that
Cal Bowl of Carson and Paramount.
No, it's like Carson.
Between Carson Cherry and Carson Paramount.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
Yeah.
whichever
No,
side.
you're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had my 15th birthday party there. I think.
I'll let you know right now. Nothing has changed.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's changing.
No, no,
Bowling
no.
alleys, that's another thing.
Bowling
that's
alleys are
great about
timeless.
bowling alleys. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're not timeless. They're very much timely for when they were built, and then they
Okay.
never change.
Oh,
They stay
okay.
just like that. So
Yeah.
if you find
So
a
were they-
bowling alley that was built in the 90s, it looks like it was built in. They're like apartment buildings.
That's true.
You know
Okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like they look exactly like they were built when they were built.
Yeah, nobody's gonna come by like we need to renovate this
Yeah,
place.
time
We
to
need
give this
spruce
bowling
it up,
alley a facelift.
get the kid,
Yeah.
get that malt shop out of there. And I was
Although
like,
there is one bowling alley that I know of that has exactly that had go on there, and that's in Santa Barbara. It's the one closest to Isla Vista by UCSB. That one got a massive facelift in like the early 2000s.
Has it got Wi-Fi? Is that a new thing?
Dude, so much Wi-Fi.
wow.
There's so much.
They got all the bars.
Yeah.
They went through and they totally like modernized the whole thing, and it's really, it's kind of unnerving to be in a bowling alley that's been updated. I don't like it at all.
Now, did they future-proof it so they just have like there's like escalators, floor escalators everywhere, so you don't have to walk. You just like
Oh, that would
enter
be
and it's like
badass.
no.
That's a smart idea, man.
There's a lot of people that go to
Liquid
bowling.
on the floor is a big problem in bowling alleys.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of bowling alleys just put carpet there.
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah, it's just
Even
carpet,
that,
like-
dude, you get that wet, it's still dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. But bowling alleys are pretty much like timeless. I don't know if people are going to be like, let's go to a bowling alley because what other ones we got in like this area? We got the one over in Lakewood Mall.
Yeah. But that one's like
It's like an
we're talking
arcade.
about, It's new.
Yeah.
It's like going to Chili's or some shit.
Yeah, it's Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking Dave and Buster's.
I haven't been to Dave and Buster's since like 2008. Anything?
I've never been.
Never been?
No.
I just
I've been
know.
to a place like it. Like I understand the process, or I understand the draw, but I've never been to an actual Dave and Buster's.
You're
Yeah.
not missing anything.
Yeah.
I feel like the games are too expensive. It's like a normal. What would you pay for like 25 cents? Would be like $1.50. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $1.50 to play this game.
Dude, do you think that exists because our generation, like, and generations near ours, like, grew up through the video game world, right? Video games used to be something you did on your mom's couch, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the only place. And then, like, when we were teenagers, like, oh, arcades exist. You can go to arcades and play video games and be social with your friends.
No, depending on
And
how
then,
old
like,
you are.
now
Yeah.
all the arcades are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only people who are playing those video games is our generation, right? So like it's progressing through life as we progress through life. Like soon, arcades will only be in retirement homes.
That's
Only
true.
a
'cause,
place
like,
to find a pinball
Because
machine.
like right now they're at like,
You know what I'm
there's
saying?
like all these barcades going on.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. No, at first
I get
there
what
was
you're
Dave
saying.
and Buster's when everybody could afford to eat at corporate restaurants. And
Yeah.
they have barcades. Now everybody's interested in fucking
I never
like,
thought of
real
it that way.
cocktails, right? What's the next part? Retirement
Yeah.
comes next, I guess. You know, like
You're like, oh right,
retirement
Ninja
age.
Turtles, and you're fucking just like
and like
wheelchair.
so maybe it's a place like they only have them where people do retirement shit. Like I don't know, maybe like companies start having their own arcades on their premises where they have retirement parties, and then once you're retired and super old, and then maybe you don't even buy like tokens and shit to play the games. You have to use some other like old person currency.
Wait, so we're gonna have our own currency
Yeah.
also. It's
Well,
not
no,
just
but I
that.
mean, think about it. How'd you get like? You wanted to play Nintendo with your friends. How did you get to do that? You had to have a controller, right? If you didn't have a second controller, you didn't get to play. That was your currency, right? Then you get into junior high, you go into arcades. You know, you had to have quarters, money from your parents, whatever. You know, like that was your currency. And now it's like you use the swipey card because that's all people our age use credit cards for everything. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's currency that exists. It's just something that we don't know that we need so much of yet.
Right.
Maybe we trade depends for. I don't know.
I'll trade one ration of applesauce for some time on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
It's spiced.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you yesterday's paper. You let me play this. You know, like that'd be crazy to think about, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Future
onto
thoughts.
something. Now I'm onto something.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's see what's up. Yeah, we're at the hour 42. Let's see. So you got anything push, Chris?
Nah, man, I don't got anything to push. I
Are you
just
a
hanging out
pusher?
with you guys.
You got anything
you
to
a
pull?
pusher?
Are you pulling anything right now?
I think we all got things to pull, but I'm just saying, No, I got nothing. Man. I'm just here to hang out. Like, I don't promote shit.
Yeah.
I did stand up a couple of times. Not doing it anytime soon, probably.
I think the last time 10 years ago when we talked to you was like you went up twice or had more than twice.
I've been like a dozen times.
Dozen times.
Stage, yeah.
So now you're a seasoned amateur.
Yeah.
I know the comedians like say, "Well, see you in the circuit." They get fucking triggered and they'll fucking
Well, it's
murder
crazy.
you.
Like the question that gets asked: how long you been doing comedy?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, how long you been doing it? How long you been doing it? Like
It's like a badge of honor.
like a year ago,
Right.
Yeah.
a dozen times. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be like I've been doing comedy for a year because they're gonna expect me to be at like a whole different level.
Yeah.
So now my thing is I've been on stage a handful of times.
I like that.
Yeah, very non-specific.
That's like when I tell people like I'm going to school for a medical, getting the medical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going to be a doctor? I'm like, no. What?
Yeah.
Not everybody's doctors, dude.
Yeah.
Also, no.
Yeah. But you have to be more specific.
Right.
Right. So you just do it automatically, so you can save those steps. Or...
Actually, I'm gonna become a nurse.
Yeah. There you go.
Fuck yeah.
Done. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
It's way better. I don't know, man. No, I got nothing to plug. Come drink at my bar.
Okay.
You know?
I'll definitely hover around, ask for a soda water.
Yeah, totally.
Tanya, which one is it again? Is it soda water or club soda? Which one should I be drinking?
It's the same.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing?
Unless you can find seltzer, then you should.
Seltzer water. Is that the one without sugar?
No, it's pretty much the same thing.
You don't want tonic.
Yeah,
I don't want tonic.
yeah, you
Okay,
don't want
no more tonic water. Okay, I will get anything
Seltzer is essentially East Coast soda water.
Wait, no,
It's
you don't
like-
want tonic.
Yeah.
but I don't want tonic.
No, you don't
No,
want
you
tonic.
do want tonic.
I do want
She
tonic.
just said you don't.
No, he doesn't want soda because it doesn't taste like anything.
Oh,
Which one doesn't have
soda's
sugar?
just carbonated water.
I'll take that.
Soda, yeah. Soda is no sugar.
I'll take a white wine spritzer next time I see you. White wine spritzer.
You have to drink it with your pinky out the whole time.
Yeah. But
That's it, man.
right on, man. Well, wherever, if you have dates or anything, or like whenever you're gonna show, I want to see you do stand up.
Yeah, as soon as I get better at it, I'll definitely let you guys know.
Dude, we're just gonna goad you into like fucking stop your shift right now. We're putting you up on stage. There's a
Yeah.
spot up in LA right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I get better, I'll let people know.
Right on.
Yeah. I gotta hit some more mics.
Fuck yeah. Please don't hit these.
Yes, please.
I did a lot better this time, not hitting the mics or not bumping the table, but I did hit this wind thing like twice.
Yeah, I'm thinking about completely nixing it. I mean, maybe, or just like put them all in linear, like 3 for like, I guess it's like super fidgety or whatever, but I don't think these really do anything. I think it's like fine, see?
Don't do that. Put it back.
Oh god, it covers my mouth, doesn't it? Oh, no.
Don't do that.
That's-
There you
It
go.
might take away the pops. It might.
I don't really notice the pops, but that we've always had it on.
Yeah, see?
Wowzers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You motherfuckers.
definitely we'll come drink at your bar. You'll be there
I will be there.
every weekend night. I will be here every weekend.
Nice.
I'll at least try to stop by once. I was doing that a while ago, but now it's just like popping between everywhere else
Yeah.
and doing podcasts. And
It's hard, dude. You're a popular dude. You have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to hang out with us all the time.
I'm just trying to pick up where I left off.
Yeah.
I always say that like it's a movie plot or something, but
Right.
It basically
one
is.
man. No,
Yeah.
David, you got anything?
No. I'm hungry.
Dude,
Yeah, let's eat some food.
let's eat some food. All right, quick plug. Cut by Anthony Diaz, man of many cuts, death by many cuts. I don't know.
Jesus.
You trying to get a fresh cut? You're tired of that buzz cut? You're tired of that stupid swoop line that you get over at Fantastic Sam's? You'll get an actual professional haircut by a licensed barber that knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. He's even touted he doesn't even need to touch you in order to cut your hair. Remember that?
Or to make you come.
Yeah, well, he didn't say that. The second part. Something about cutting hair. But if you need to book
That's what I heard.
thecutby.com, maybe, if you ask for the special code and mention this podcast, he will do that second thing you were talking about.
It's probably a little extra.
Probably a little extra. I don't know. Not advocating that he does that. Also, Saradice Coffee. Saradice Coffee.
Sorry, Anthony.
Anthony Diaz.
Not a man whore.
Not a man whore. Saradice Coffee, a San Diego roaster of beans. Coffee, beans. He takes these beans, he and his team take them all around Southern California. They also have a web shop, which you can obviously Google because I didn't even look up the website before I started this whole rant.
Nobody needs websites anymore.
Nobody needs websites.
Just
It's a
Google that shit.
Whoa.
Okay, we gotta go. I think that something just broke.
And I'll go ahead and get a loaded firearm. This was Keith.
This is David.
Thank you, Chris, for coming by.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
Super
Chris.
fun.
You're definitely coming by.
I love doing this.
This is fun.
It's super
I
fun.
love
And
this.
it gets me out of the house.
Hell yeah.
Also.
All right. Also.
Most importantly.
All right. Well, that's us. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.